broadcast is brought to you through the sponsorship of the following. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. By Zooms, home of the Sub Club and the Bubba Club deal. By Dr. Bruce Fuller, dermatologist. Visit his new location in Denby Medical Center. By Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling, never an overtime charge. And by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
A player of the game will be selected from each team tonight. Those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located in Hampton, and DC Engraving, located at Tab Center in Yorktown. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin. They carry a full line of individual team supplies and can meet all your screen printing needs.
From Todd Stadium, Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, we welcome you to this regional final. The Hampton Crabbers undefeated 37 consecutive games, and the Booker T Bookers, they are undefeated 7 in a row. Something's got to give. I understand we've got quite a matchup tonight, Bob.
They've only given up about less than 6 points a game on the average, about 100 yards a game. Number one defensive team over on the other side. But then you look on the other side, they've only averaged about 16 points a game. The last 4 games, Tim, they've either won it in the last few seconds or in overtime. So they're a team that says if we can hang around, we're going to win it at the end of a game if we're close. The only problem with that is you and I know the Hampton team is explosive, can score from anywhere on the field at any time, and I don't care if it's 1st and 10 or 1st and 30, they can pick it up. They're just an awesome team.
Well, the Hampton team averaging 41.5 points a game on offense, and they started slowly, but they have also done the job on defense. And everybody talks about Ronald Curry and all the great offensive power this team has, but this team has allowed only once in 10 games an opponent to score more than 7 points. So, you know, Booker T can talk about all of their defense, and certainly it's well-founded, but Hampton's got both sides of the ball covered.
And see, and that's the key to this thing, is that you can't just look at Ronald Curry. You got to look at the 3 receivers that together they've got almost 1,500 yards, and we're talking Blizzard and Brown and Armando Curry. These young people can move, they can catch the ball, they can get open, and then all of a sudden the last few games, pops Mr. Hollier, a young man been playing defense, linebacker. All of a sudden they put him at tailback. He runs the ball well, catches it out of the backfield. So now you got another weapon you got to worry about. So Hampton has got a team that is putting all the pieces together. Their defense has stepped up. I was talking to Danny Mitchell about the offensive line. He says for 4 years we've had just 2 guys coming back, Blizzard and Lively. He says we're losing those 2. Next year we got everybody else coming back. So he's excited because these young people are stepping up and doing a job.
Well, and it goes back to the coaching. You know, we talk about a lot of different elements of this game and what happens year in and year out. The one question I get most often is, how come Hampton can keep doing that every year? You know, they have the same basic pool of players that everybody else does, but the difference is they teach the fundamentals. We talked about this last week. When it comes down to a Hampton coach team, they know the fundamentals.
Well, they're well coached, and I go back and I was talking to the crew that's over here from Norfolk. I said, you got to look at the Hampton coaches, and I said you can stop after the first 2. They've got a lot of coaches on it, a lot of them do a great job, but when you got Danny Mitchell and Alvis Mann, who've been with Mike Smith for 17 years plus or whatever they've been with him, they do a great job. They know what Coach Smith wants. They know what the defense, they know how to teach the fundamentals. These kids are so good at fundamentals, and we have talked about this in the past. They can make adjustments on the field. We saw that last week. Just to move the tackles out a little, and then they stop that dive play. I mean, it's just amazing what these young people can do. They make adjustments better than college and pros. I see the pros over there with, here's a picture, here's a Polaroid. Now this is what happened. You don't have that ability here, but these kids make the adjustments. You just can't factor that in.
Well, we were going to talk a little bit about the Booker T. Washington offensive team. Of course, they're led by quarterback Perry. He's got some good compliments, but really their defense is really what it boils down to. I would say, for what I've read and what little I know, they're pretty average on offense, but their defense is where it is. So if Hampton can move the ball against them, that'll be the key.
Yeah, because they cannot score as easy as Hampton. They don't have the big play. They want to contain Curry, which, you know, they're not going to let him run. Well, that's fine. You let him sit back there and throw the ball, he's going to eat you alive. But they have a good defense. The Perry kid, the Fuller kid, the Taylor kid, they got some good people on defense. They just don't have the caliber of players that Hampton. I just don't believe that they can stay with Hampton, especially offensively. There's no way they can do it.
Well, a little earlier, Bob had a chance to go back in time and talk to both head coaches. First of all, he's going to have a chance to chat with Coach Stepney and then Mike Smith right after that. And after those interviews, we'll be ready for the Rumble.
Ready for the Rumble. I like that. I have Coach Stepney with me. Coach, I know you've told me you've been at Booker T for 6 years, but you've done a good job turning that program around.
We give all of our praise to God. Staff that
And you told me that some of the people over there started to call you guys the cardiac kids because you last 4 games going right down to the wire.
have gone right down to the wire. And it's not something just planned. It's just the hard work and dedication of the kids and not giving up. We based our season on the power of prayer. We believe in the power of prayer because we're a team that prays together. And I always believe if you pray together, you'll stay together as a unit. And those guys just believed that it was going to happen either before the game or in overtime. And that's just how it happened.
Well, that's very good. Let's tell me a little bit how you're going to react to this Hampton team. This Hampton team puts on a lot of points on the board. You've got a great defense.
Well, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to contain Ronald Curry in the game and try to keep it close. And then maybe, you know, if the Lord allows it in the fourth quarter overtime, we can pull it out like we've been doing all the time.
Very good. Well, good luck to you, and
Thank
congratulations again on a fine season so far.
Thank you.
Good enough. Stay tuned for Mike Smith. Got Mike Smith with me. Coach, congratulations. Last week, good game. I wish you'd have told me about that first play from scrimmage.
I thought I did.
That was great. And we had talked earlier, and you told me how they were going to play defense. This team, you know, they're supposed to be #1 defense on the other side. They hold everybody down to less than 6 points a game.
They've had an excellent defense all year. They've helped people to, I think they've given up 59 points for the year or something like that. In addition to that, they've only given up 100 yards a game total offense, so that's mighty good defense, you know, any way you look at it and anywhere you play.
Right. Well, you know, I was talking to Coach Stepney, and he says, well, they got to do something with Ronald. He said, we're going to try to contain him, but you're not just a one-person team. I mean, you've got some real good athletes. Ronnie is special, there's no doubt about it, but you've got some other people who step up.
Well, you never prepare for one person. I'm sure you know that if you play against someone like Ronald, you have to do certain things to try to take some of the things away that he does, but those are things we'll have to try to find out what they're doing once the game gets started and exactly how they plan on attacking us on defense, and see if we can make adjustments, move the ball a little bit on them.
Okay. Do you have a special play tonight?
No, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. The film we had weren't very good, very difficult. I mean, I spent all week trying to decipher the defense, and I'm not sure we've still got it all down. We may have to do some of that here early in the game, but we'll mix it up. We'll throw the ball a little, try to run a little bit. Nobody's been successful either one of them, so we'll see if we can get it moving a little bit on them here early in the game.
Well, good enough. Well, again, congratulations on a fine season. Good luck to you tonight.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
Good enough. Well, stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Quarter of action tonight is brought to you by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. Also on staff are Brian Wood and John Ware. By Zooms, where the deal is the Bubba Club Special. When you buy 4 fountain drinks, the 5th one is free.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
By Dr. Bruce Fuller, now located in the Denby Medical Center, with Saturday hours available. And by Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Todd Stadium, Tim Cole and Bob Hintz ready for the teams to get it underway, and it is going to be, or should be at least, an excellent ball game. This Booker T. Washington defense that we've talked so much about. The question I have, Bob, is have they ever played a team that even potentially is as explosive as Hampton is?
Well, if you look at the schedule, Tim, they have not played anybody that can put the points on the board like Hampton. Over on an offense side, most of the teams will run and pass as an afterthought, where Hampton will pass and run equally as much. This passing is as much as their offense is, the running is of their offense, as are the special teams. So, right, I don't think they've run into anybody that's with the offensive power that the Crabbers have.
Let's tell you about the captains as they are meeting in the center of the field for the Hampton Crabbers. They are represented by 55, Adam Lively, number 89, Bobby Blizzard, number 42, Darnell Hollier, and number 1, Ronald Curry. For the Bookers, if I can pick up their numbers as we view them on the field, number 77 is Anthony Smith.
Number 55. Number 11, number 8, 15.
Number 11 is Kelvin Fuller. Number 8 is DeWin Williams. And number 11, I mentioned him already. Let's see who else we got. Number 15, that's the quarterback, Dominic Perry. Jim Fay is our referee for tonight. We'll give you all of the officials in just a moment. Let's see if we can listen in on the toss of the coin.
Mr. Chelsea is the line judge. Mr. Barry is our field judge. Mr. Adamowski is the umpire, and Mr. Hartzum is our lineman.
There are the officials, as you see them on your screen. Adamowski, the umpire, Hartzheim, the linesman, Tucci is the line judge, the field judge is Sperrer, and Smith is the back judge. So Hampton has won the toss, and they will receive. They'll be moving from our right to our left. And we will tell you that the weather conditions aren't bad, but they're not great either. There is a on and off drizzle, but I'm happy to say, Bob, at this point, it does not look like the rain, at least at this time, is going to be a major factor.
No, and I don't think it will be, Tim. It's been kind of just an off and on little sprinkle. It gets a little heavier, but field's in excellent condition. The staff up here at Todd Field has done a great job. Talked to Gary Sylvie, who is the head of athletics in the Newport News School System, and told him, I said, geez, you guys have done a great job up here.
I want to make mention of a couple of the games that are going to be coming up here. We will have, for your viewing pleasure, the Kickoff game with Western Branch. Now, that game will be airing Sunday evening at 7:30 right here on Channel 5. And I'll give you some other times that these games may also be airing. The Hampton game airs again Tuesday night at 7:30. And then Wednesday night, the 26th of November, Kickoff and Western Branch again at 7:30. We are set to get this one underway for the Eastern Regional Championship Division 5. A short kick taken at the 22-yard line. This is Jay Brown, and he'll get out across the 25 to about the 27. So the Hampton Crabbers on offense. Adam Lively is the center. Harris and Edwards are the guards. Mann and Green will be the tackles for Mike Smith's squad. 7-yard return for Jay Brown after a 39-yard kick. Tight end is Blizzard. The split is Brown. Almondo Curry, the flanker. Gunter and Crawford are the running backs, and Ronald Curry is the quarterback. First down from the Hampton 27-yard line. 12-minute quarters in high school football. They play action fake. Curry has a man open, completes the pass to Blizzard. He is still inbounds, finally out of bounds, shy of midfield, a Hampton first down.
Tim, they've got Hollier in the backfield.
On defense for the Bookers, the nose guard is Jordan. The tackles are Reed and Jordan. Williams and Adams will be the inside linebackers for Larry Stepney's Washington Bookers. That was a 22-yard pass completion, by the way, to Bobby Blizzard. Jordan and Fulter are the other linebackers. The corners are Salter and White. Scott is the free safety, and Cutler is the strong safety. Brown comes to the near side. Double wide receivers to the top of your screen. Now the man in motion is Hollier to the right. The direct snap to the shotgun, Ronald Curry, and he runs across midfield, and he's down close to the 45-yard line of Booker T. Washington.
Well, he ran into George Adamowski. He almost used him for a block, but George got in his way, slowed him down a little bit. That's just no more than a quarterback draw from the shotgun formation. They're going to give Bookers a lot to look at. Use them on defense.
I was going to say, you know, Mike Smith and his coaching staff have got something that the Bookers haven't seen on film. Here's the replay, and you see Ronald Curry picking up 5. Second down and a long 4. Let's call it 5. Checking off at the line of scrimmage, out of the I formation.
So they got 8 men right up on the line of scrimmage.
Now Crawford shifts to the right of Curry, and the handoff goes to Crawford, who finds the opening and has a first down at the Booker 37-yard line.
A quick trap play, and I tell you what, Jarrett Green threw a great block, pancaked the man that he was blocking, number 81. Hildegast that's wrong. I don't have an 81.
Well, we'll find out who that is as we go along. Another first down for the Crabbers at the 36-yard line. Out of play action now. Over the middle, a man was open. Pass downfield is caught at the 10-yard line.
What a catch.
Elmundo Curry with a great catch at the 10-yard line. And another first down for the Crabbers.
Tim, he went up in the air. Looked like he was dunking a basketball. He got up so high. And Bobby Blizzard was wide open.
That's the one I thought he was going to throw to.
I did too. Here's the replay.
Watch the replay from the ground level. Curry with no wind to factor tonight. A 26-yard pass completion to Muffin Curry at the 10-yard line. They place the ball just inside the 10, so it's first and goal. Out of the shotgun, Hollier to the near side in motion. Curry on the quarterback draw, and he is to about the 7-yard line. It'll be second and goal.
Again, they're just trying to keep them honest. They put 8 men up on that line of scrimmage, the Fighting Bookers, and Hampton threw a man in motion. Somebody's got to follow him if they don't. Hollier, we saw last week, pretty good pass catcher coming out of the backfield.
There you see Ronald Curry as he comes halfway to the near sideline to get the play call from Mike Smith. It's second down and goal. The ball just short of the 6-yard line. Initial possession for the Crabbers. 9:35 left in the first. In a scoreless ball game. Play action fake over the middle. Man is wide open. Now Curry throws behind Muffin Curry. He had him open for a moment but didn't see him. And then when he did decide to go to him, he was too tall with the pass.
Number 8 was Williams was giving him a little bit of pressure that time. Williams playing the one of the inside linebackers.
That's a case, Bob, where the receiver was open before the pass got there, and then when Curry finally had a chance to spot him, he was covered, and Curry just simply threw the ball away. Third down and goal now for the Crabbers.
We may see an option here because Hampton will throw a lot of different things at you.
Curry swings it out to Hollier, and Hollier cannot make the grab as the pass was a little low and a little ahead of him. So the Crabbers now will have to make a decision whether or not they will go for what would be a relatively easy field goal.
And that's exactly what it looks like. Of course, we've seen fakes too.
Sure.
Brown is the holder, and as you and I know, Brown is an ex-quarterback. I'm sorry, no, it's Armando Curry is the holder. I'm sorry.
Armando, yep. So Muffin Curry will spot the ball at the 13. Now the Crabbers,
well, they were one man shy.
Delay penalty, have called a timeout. So we take a break with 9:25 remaining in the first quarter. And we'll remind you that the Hampton Crabbers and the Kickoff Warriors very much in the postseason hunt. The Kickoff game can also be seen here on Channel 5. through the mystery of television. Now, actually, we won't be doing the play-by-play this year for that game, but you can see it here on Channel 5. That'll be the Kickoff Western Branch game. As you look at the Fighting Bookers and their head coach, Larry Stepney, the Bookers just one loss on the season. That was to a Churchland team who they avenged that loss last week to eliminate the Truckers.
And they did that in the last 22 seconds of the game. They were trailing 3-2. And got a pass in the corner of the end zone.
Boonrong on to try the field goal. This will be his first if he is successful. A 23-yard attempt.
Oh, we had a movement on the Crabbers.
So Hampton untypically commits the mental error, and now it'll make that field goal a little more difficult for Boonrong. Needless to say, the Bookers will take that penalty.
And all the Bookers did was make a move, which they can do. They can jump around on defense as long as they don't get into the neutral zone. And that time, that's exactly what one of the Crabbers did, was flinch, move out of that. Once you get in a set position on that front line, offensive line, you can't move until the ball is snapped.
So the spot now will be the 18-yard line, adding the 10 to the end zone. It's a 28-yard attempt, if in fact it is an attempt. And I have no reason to suspect otherwise at this point. Boonrong's kick is up, and it's going to be very close, and it is good. Just inched its way over the goalpost bar. So on their first possession, the Hampton Crabbers are able to kick a 28-yard field goal, and they take a 3-0 lead with 9:19 remaining in the first quarter. That is the first field goal of the season for Hampton and Jimmy Boonrong.
But we do want to congratulate some of the Hampton Crabbers, starting with Ronald Curry, who was the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year again this year. He was also first-team district quarterback and safety and kick returner. His cousin Armando Curry was first-team wide receiver and defensive back.
Here's the replay on that field goal, if I can interrupt you for just a moment, Bob. This ball just barely got over there. It was just drifting down. There's no wind. Again, looking at the flag down in the end zone to our right, there's no wind at all. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's right. Raymond Mann, who is just a sophomore, Tim, made first team both offensive and defensive line. Darnell Hollier at linebacker, Jarrett Green at defensive end, Bobby Blizzard at tight end, and Adam Lively at center, all first team district selections for the Crabbers. On the second team, wide receiver Brown, guard Edwards. The young man we just saw kick the field goal, Boomerang, is second team all-district, as was Jeremy Southern and Harris. So congratulations to the Crabbers and their young men who got recognized for an outstanding year.
That drive, a 73-yard drive, culminating in the field goal. Boonrong will kick off. Back deep for the Fighting Bookers is Pernell Salter, number 44. Also back is number 7, Renair White.
Well, they got 3 deep, 3 up, and then 5 on the line, Tim. And you notice they're edging up. They might have watched that film last week when we got to see.
My vantage point is right on the 40-yard line to the left. They're almost in the left-hand corner of your screen. And that would be an area where he might just try and pooch that ball in there and go after it. So you know that Coach Stepney and his group have looked at those films and will be very much aware of that fact. Now, there is a delay for some reason here.
And while we got the delay, let me recognize the coaches. As you mentioned, Coach Stepney is the head coach, assisted by Romeo Lambert, Robert Turan, Curtis Barrett, Tim Yannicone, Victor Hill, Mike Holloway, Anthony Arrington, and the Hampton Crabbers, Mike Smith, Danny Mitchell, Albus Mann, Lanny Franklin, Tony Spruill, Tony Carlson, Kenny Gilliam, Shannon Smith, Adolph Hawkins, Ken Kaplan, Michael Carter, Kevin Carter, and Diane Limerick is the trainer.
I apologize, as I'm sure you would as well. We have no idea what this delay is about. As you can see on your screen, Jim Fay and a couple of the other officials are on the Booker T. Washington sideline discussing something with that team, but I have.
Well, they came over and talked to the Hampton side, and then they went over and talked to the other side. I'm like you. I have no idea what's going on. Jim is not wearing the mic, so we just speculate that he's asked them what they were going to do after the game, and said we got some good places to eat over here. So.
Great little Chinese restaurant around the corner, so what the heck. All right, it seems whatever the delay was has been resolved, so we're set to go. As Boonrong will kick it away. Also back deep is Cameron White, number 3. But the man in the middle is 44 Salter. Boonrong's kick is relatively deep, taken at the 18-yard line by Salter. He's looking for some running room up the middle. A flag is down as he gets out to the 35-yard line, but let's see what the penalty's about.
Usually it's against a receiving team, illegal block or something. Let's see. And we got holding.
So the Bookers, who were penalized for 101 yards on 13 penalties last week, have the penalty on the first play here. Here's Stackhouse at the center. Smith and Adams will be the guards. The tackles are Reed and Washington for the Bookers. Balance of the offense. Tight end is Schmaltz. The split end is Fuller. Burston is the flanker. Williams and Scott will be the running backs. And Perry, number 15, is the quarterback. Perry with a 67 completions of 148 attempts with 4 picks on the season. 4 interceptions, not bad for a 10-game season. Or actually, in this case now, an 11-game season.
Well, they got 3 wideouts, and they just in the I formation, but the Crabbers, and there may be I think there was, and Hampton got the, whoa!
Just what the coach from Booker T said they cannot do, they do on their very first play from the line of scrimmage.
Tim,
they
you
coughed
could
up
see,
the ball.
as that man went to the line of scrimmage, he was met by, I don't know who was on that right side for the Crappers. Woo!
That was Deadpool Wood. Watch this, see if we can pick it up. And there you see the play, and I can't make out, maybe if we let that run a little bit, we'll see. Well, can't make it out. All right, in any event, the Crabbers have the ball in great field position at the Booker T 28. Curry on the fake, has the ball, slips one tackler, still going down to the 13-yard line.
Tim, he made 2 people miss that were tackling air.
That was a very unique movement after the snap from the center.
Well, and I think it was they lost the timing. He was really supposed to hand the ball off, but if we have that on replay, you will see a couple of moves. Here we go. Watch how he makes these people miss. Right here. Number 8, he said, who am I tackling?
Number 8 reached for air, and that's all he got. Finally, Curry brought down, and after that play, the Bookers called timeout as they need to discuss it. That was a 15-yard run by Ronald Curry and a first down. Ronald Curry now in the first quarter has carried the ball a total of 3 times for 24 yards. He's also been rather successful passing, considering we've only played 4 minutes, as he's completed 2 for a total of 48 yards here in the early going. 2 out of 4 for 48. 8:59 left here in the first quarter. Hampton leading 3-0. This game videotaped for your enjoyment on the 21st of November, 1997. You're watching the Group AAA Division 5 Eastern Regional Championship game. The Crabbers with an opportunity now to add some points on the turnover from the Bookers. So far in this opening period, the Bookers have had the ball just the 20 seconds that it took for them to snap the ball and fumble it.
Well, they got a few seconds while they were running the kickoff back. Now, give them that. I mean, after all.
All right, let's
I don't think it was 20 seconds on that first play.
I don't think so either. First down at the 13. This is Hollier, and Hollier is stacked up. The ball is loose. And they say the Bookers have gotten it back. So the Crabbers turn the ball over on their second play after the fumble by the Booker T. Washington
That
Bookers.
was a nice hit. I missed the number.
Darnell Hollier was the ball carrier, and he was separated from the ball. And I got to tell you, we talked about some rain, but it's not that bad. This is just a case here of Hollier giving the ball up, and
that looks like
24.
Number 24, yes.
Yeah, that was 24. That would be Ronald Marcus. So just that quickly, the Bookers have it back at their 21-yard line. Each team now with a turnover here in the early going. Perry has the ball over center. Burston in motion. Now the same man who fumbled on their first play gets the call again. That's Detrell Wood, number 20. And he picks up a couple of yards. All right, on defense now for the Crabbers, the guards are Mann and Edwards. Southern and Green are the tackles. Gunter and Lively are the ends. As you can see, if you're not familiar with Hampton, a number of players going both ways. Hollier and Harris are the linebackers. Higgins and Zarif are the corners. And Armando Curry is the safety, taking the place of his cousin Ronald, who because of that shoulder injury has not been playing defense now since he suffered that injury. Second down and about 8 for the Fighting Bookers. Burston again is the man in motion. Perry just gets the ball away, and he is
Hollier
really creamed.
Dwight, I'm sorry, Darnell, I want to call him. He looked like his brother playing for the Dolphins, Tim.
Well, and Green was in there too. Jarrett Green, whose brother plays for the Cavs out of Virginia.
Man.
And you see the coaching staff and head coach Mike Smith in the middle of your picture. So the incomplete pass brings up a third down and about 8 for the Fighting Bookers.
Adam Lively was in on helping on the, I think was helping on the coverage, defensive coverage. Now Ronald Curry is in at safety because they expect the pass.
Bookers are about to get a penalty for delay of game here if they don't hurry. That is a very long 25-second clock. And Jim Fay says you did not make it.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. You got that clock going in your head tonight, don't you?
I got the clock going.
Eagle Eye and got his own clock.
Well, they just
now. Well, and you know, if I would look, I'm sure if we go back and check the tape, there was 20 seconds that they had the ball at first because you had that clock going, right?
No, I had Killen going on that.
Oh, okay.
So the 5-yard penalty sets up now third down and 13 for the Bookers. In the slot is number 24, Marcus. Double wide receivers to the near side. Perry back, has some pressure, unloads, throws long, and it's incomplete.
And he was dropped by Green.
Oh,
Jarrett Green.
They are getting to him. Now, he's getting the ball away, but he is paying a real price when he does so.
And they being the Crabbers, Tim, only rushed 4 men that time.
And Green was one of those 4, and he truly got a good lick on Perry, a very clean hit, but a lick that Perry will go over to the sidelines, and I'm sure he's going to say to the offensive line, guys, give me a little more time.
Give me a couple more seconds. Anyway, how's this punter? Do you have any statistics on him?
I don't have any statistics on the punter. He is also the quarterback, Dominic Perry, and he does get it away. Good-looking kick. And it's taking a bounce in favor of Hampton, and they downed the ball at the Booker T 45-yard line.
That was a smart play. Who was that? Looks like it was that 77.
77, yeah.
And that looks like Raymond Mann, 74, Jeremy Southern. Great job, just down the ball. You're not a running back. He knows, I get it, we're going to down it. Great field position for the Crabbers.
Well, you know, it took a backspin hop on it. It's like he had backspin on the ball, and it really came right to him. He really wasn't planning to field the ball, but he was very smart in being sure-handed and just falling down.
Right.
All right, at the 43-yard line is where the Crabbers will start. Hollier in motion to the near side. Curry again on the quarterback keeper, picks up about 7, almost 8 yards down to the 37-yard line.
Number 8 in on the tackle, Williams. Tim, the Bookers have some young men that made district. Kelvin Fuller was offensive player of the year. Kelvin Fuller and Ronald Marcus were co-defensive players of the year in their district. Other first-team selections, Dominic Perry, Ronald Marcus, Anthony Smith, Demetrius Scott.
Gain of 8 for Curry, second down and a pair. Quick handoff in the middle goes to Crawford, and Crawford will apparently be short of the first down as he needed to get to the 34-yard line. He's about a foot shy of the marker. That'll bring up 3rd down and extremely short. And of course, they are right now, they're in 4-down territory, as we have so often seen Hampton do.
Hey, Hampton could be in 4-down territory on their own 20-yard line. We have seen them just do some remarkable things.
So the gain of a yard on the play by Crawford brings up 3rd and a yard. Curry, who's done a lot of the ball carrying, does it again and has the 1st down.
And that's all he wanted, just to get that 1st down.
So nothing particularly spectacular in that play. That was just simply, let's get the 1st down and get a fresh set. And they have. So they'll move the chains. And the Crabbers now with the ball at the Booker T 33-yard line will have a 1st down with 6:25 remaining. And they lead 3-0 here in the 1st quarter.
Well, you know, we saw the first series, they came out passing the ball. Since then, they've been running the ball. Look for a pass this time.
I think they can pass against this team.
I
they
do
certainly showed that they could early.
We saw Bobby Blizzard open just about every time he's gone on a pass play.
Over the middle, this is Blizzard just out of his reach. Got a hand on it, but if he had made that grab, and we did see him make a spectacular grab before. We saw him make a one-handed grab in the final, was either the final game of the season that we did with Hampton?
Yeah, but
just like
remember
he had stick 'em.
Remember the 2 catches he made for 2-point conversions last week?
Yes. We're told Western Branch and Kickingham are all knotted up at 7. Of course, as you watch this game, you will undoubtedly know the final on that score.
Unless you didn't read the paper.
And live in a cave. Speaking of the paper, I'll give a plug here in just a minute. The pitch, and Hollier gets a real nice bounce as the ball bounced right back up to his hands, and he'll score. Talk about it, a fortuitous bounce.
Hey, does he play basketball?
When things are going well, that was too much. That actually helped him because it froze the defense.
Right, defense kind of hesitated or moved in towards where they thought the ball would be. Do we have that? Oh, my goodness.
A 33-yard run by Darnell Hollier to give the Hampton now a 9-0 lead.
Well, Tim, that was the first time we've seen the option tonight. They don't run that option often. They run it on 2-point conversions.
Hollier's had some trouble holding on to that ball, though. Untypical. Boonrang's extra point try is right through the uprights. And so the Hampton Crabbers now take a 10-0 lead. Here's your replay. Watch this. The ball in front of him, he sees it perfectly. He just gathers it back in.
Concentration. Now that looks easy, slow motion, folks, but that is not as easy as it looks.
And look
Great
at that
block
nice
right there
block by
Armando Curry.
And Hollier with that ball in the left hand, knowing that's the side to carry it on when you're headed for the end zone. Does kind of a high step strut for the last 5 yards. As he knows, he was lucky that ball bounced right back into his hands. He might have been getting some splitters on the bench if that ball had gotten loose and ended up in his hands.
He would have been on the bench.
Well, there you see it. 10-0 as Hampton now. So once again, kick off with 5:52 left here in the 1st quarter.
I tell you, sometimes it just works that way. That ball bounces so funny sometimes, but it looked like you were just dribbling the ball that time out in front of him. He ran up and got the ball, and you're right, the defense kind of sucked in and took themselves out of the outside coverage, because this is one thing that the Bookers talked about. They're so good at containment.
And they go to the ball, and when they saw the ball, they kind of changed their thought process just for that split second. And with Hollier's speed, he was able to get around them with no problem.
Well, what the Bookers do defensively, Tim, is they don't read defenses as much as getting in the gaps and just trying to create something.
All right, Boonrang this time gets a good kickoff, taken back at the 7-yard line. Again, this is Salter. And Salter is out across the 25, close to the 28-yard line. And that's where the Bookers will start again. That was a 51-yard kickoff with a 19-yard return by number 44, Salter.
And that was Raymond Mann, number 77, the young man, just a sophomore, that made both offensive and defensive all-district player in the Peninsula District this year. these young men will play all over. They play offense, defense, special teams, you name it, they'll play it.
All right, now the defense back on the field. So far, they've been able to slow down this Booker T. Washington attack, and they've gotten to the quarterback on a couple of occasions. The handoff up the middle goes to 24, Ronald Marcus.
But if you see what the Bookers are doing, Tim, and I watched them play last week against Churchland, they only usually put one man out wide. Everybody else is in tight. Tonight, they've got 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field, 1 to the out. They're trying to spread the Hampton defense. But I tell you, they're being out manhandled on the front 4.
Gain of 4 on that last play. Second down, and let's call it 6, almost 7.
Might be a pass play this time. Nope.
Again, same man gets the ball, and he gets a first down at the 40-yard line. So that is Ronald Marcus getting the first down for the Booker T. Washington Fighting Bookers.
He was one of the co-defensive players of the year, but he was also on the offense first team for the Bookers this year.
Interestingly, I got some information about the Bookers from the Norfolk paper. They didn't list him as one of the key stat guys, but he's gotten the ball predominantly here in the first quarter.
Well, they run a lot of different backs. They don't have any one back that has done a lot because Stepney brings in a lot of different backs.
And this is the young man who fumbled earlier. This is number 20, Detrill Wood, and he picks up maybe a yard. I started to say about the paper a while ago, I want to thank Mike Keach and all the fine writers over at the Daily Press for, as they have all season, providing us with statistics to share with you on these Hampton Crabbers. Trying to figure out the traffic around here, Bob. There's a bunch of people headed back out here. Must have overflow parking problems here again tonight. Good crowd on hand. The Hampton side is basically full. And a good contingent from the Bookers on the other side. Second down and 9. And this is Marcus again. And Marcus gets out close to the 45-yard line. So he picks up 4 more as the Fighting Bookers deciding to keep the ball on the ground.
A man and Harris was in on the bottom of the tackle, and it was finished off by Dwight Hollier from his linebacker spot.
Darnell.
Darnell. I'm going to call him Dwight. He's playing so good. Such a outstanding defensive linebacker for the Crabbers.
I'm sure he'll take that as a supreme compliment, but
it's not to me. Well, maybe his brother will take it as a compliment.
Third down and about 6. Need to get to the midfield stripe for a first down. Perry back to pass. Has some time. Throws. Got a man open. Can't hold on to the ball, though. Has a good stick by you-know-who.
He really had to go up in there to get that ball.
Well, that was number 15.
No, number 11, Tim.
Was that 11 or 15?
Yes, number 11 went up in the air.
Okay, that was Gunter then. I thought it was 15.
No, it was Fuller.
Huh?
Kelvin Fuller.
I'm talking about the defense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I was talking about the who are we talking about?
I'm talking about the defense was Reef. The intended receiver you had, I had the other guy.
I got you.
All right, back to punt. Perry, end over end kick. Curry will have a chance to field it. He takes it to the 27-yard line, reverses his field, gets away from one would-be tackler, another one, still going on his feet, finally taken down, runs about 30 yards and gets 2.
He is exciting, is he not?
I'll tell you something, all he needs is to get away from one guy. He was trying to get that picket fence set up to come back towards us, but he wasn't able to get the blocker.
Well, you got to take your hat off to the Booker special teams, Tim. They really hemmed him in and didn't give him a chance to get outside.
Tremaine Adams,
give him outside in a little move, he gonna make you miss. We saw that down here earlier.
Tremaine Adams, number 51, was dogged in his effort to get Curry and to contain him, and did a good job of keeping him from the big return. So the Crabbers with the ball at their 27-yard line will try it again. This is their 4th possession. They've scored on 2 of the first 3. This is Hollier, and Hollier across the 30 to about the 32-yard line as he picks up about 5. Clock moving with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter.
Williams, Jordan were in on the tackle that time.
So second down and halfway to the first down. There you see the story of the game so far. Hampton 10, Booker T. Washington no score. Down into the 2-minute area here in the first quarter. Curry looked over the middle, got Blizzard. Blizzard's got the first down all the way out to the 48-yard line.
What, you get that ball close to him, that man got some great hands on him, does Bobby Blizzard. Great pass there, just a little low slant right across the middle. Here we watch the replay, Tim.
15-yard pickup. Watch this. This is just a quick look in. Kind of a sidearm motion. Good coverage on Blizzard, but Blizzard's just such a big guy that, yes, an excellent effort on the part of Cutler to bring him down, but not before he picks up 15 yards and a Hampton first down. Grabbers have the ball just across their 47-yard line. Out of the I formation, the handoff to the first man through. This is Crawford, and Crawford out close to a first down inside Booker Washington territory at the 43-yard line.
Tim, I don't think the Bookers knew he had the ball. There were 2 or 3 that just was standing there looking, and he kept right on moving. What a great job of faking in the backfield after the handoff.
Think about this. If you come into this game knowing you've got to concentrate on Curry, and then Curry gives you that opportunity right from the very beginning. Curry has predominantly carried the ball, so you start to think Curry, Curry, Curry. Then if you get the quick hitter and you're looking for Curry, already the man who got the ball handed to him is racing the other direction.
He picked up 9 yards, almost 10.
So second down and less than a yard to go. Jermaine Crawford getting that last call. So far, the Crabbers with 130 yards rushing here in the first quarter. Looked like the Bookers were in the...
They were in the neutral zone, but they didn't call it.
Looking right down at the line here. I don't know how the officials could miss it. This is Hollier, and Hollier stopped dead, and he will not have the first down if they mark it where his forward progress was at the 43.
It looked like that play took a little long to develop that time. Great defensive stand that time by the Bookers. Third and very short.
Let me correct myself, 87 yards rushing in the first quarter. And we're winding down now. We have less than half a minute to go. That might have been the last play of the quarter. It'll be pretty close. They may have to get it off before the time runs out. But it is third down and short. Third down and about a yard. Collier did not pick up much on that last. In fact, maybe even lost a foot.
Well, the Bookers are in real tight.
And Curry reaches out with the ball and would appear to have the first down at the 42. And that was the last play of the quarter, but it will let the officials, of course, will check for this first down. It is clearly a first down as the ball is on the 42, and the yard marker is between the 42 and the 43. So Jim Fay says, yes, Tim, I agree with you.
Well, I'm glad he's hooked up to you tonight.
Well, we are. He and I are hooked together here as we have played 12 here at Todd Stadium. And our score after one is Hampton 10 and Booker T. Washington nothing. This quarter of the Game of the Week is made possible through the following. By Hampton Chevrolet, 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Also by Dr. Bruce Fuller, dermatologist. Visit his new location in the Denby Medical Center. And by Zooms. Join the Sub Club. Buy 4 and the 5th one is free.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
The player of the game will be selected from each team tonight. Those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located in Hampton, and DC Engraving, located at Tab Center in Yorktown. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin. They carry a full line of individual team supplies and can meet all your screen printing.
Second quarter quarter just about set to get underway as we look into the Hampton huddle here. On offense, Crabbers with a first down at the 42-yard line. And again, I have to tell you, Bob, I'm a little bit intrigued by the fact that the Crabbers are taking this Booker T. Washington defense very seriously. They're going after these short yardage plays like it's a real workman-like progress. And here's Hollier for maybe a half a yard.
Well, he was met at the line of scrimmage by number 24 and number 50. Reed is 50, 24 is Marcus.
I'm going to call it no gain because they are going to mark the ball right at the 42 or 41. They're going to give it the 41? Okay, a yard. So 1 yard on the play by Hollier, as those adjustments we talked about are being made on both sides of the field. And Booker T right now is doing a pretty good job of slowing down this attack, although now Hollier, with running room down the sideline, is inside the 25 for a first down at the 24 and a half.
Well, I tell you, Ronald Curry went down the line of scrimmage that time, and as he pitched the ball, he was hit. They've got somebody mirroring him wherever he goes, that defensive man goes, because he really picked up a hit right as he pitched that ball. But Hollier outside, and then when you try to tackle him, he doesn't avoid you. He runs over you and picks up 2 or 3 more yards.
Hollier in the ball game now, 6 carries for 52 yards. Another first down for the Crabbers at the Booker 24. Curry again gives to Hollier, and again Hollier picks up about 4, down close, actually almost 5 to the 20-yard line, depending on the spot.
George Cutler in on the tackle that time.
So a relatively conservative series here on the part of the Crabbers.
Well, and you wonder what Mike's doing, but you know he will get you thinking run and then pass, get you thinking pass and then run. A lot of confidence in this team, whether they run or pass the ball.
Sure, and this makes the defense play you honestly, right, because they have got to respect your ability to run the ball, and that's about the time you're going to put it in the air.
And Ronald Curry was check off the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what he's doing now.
2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain by Hollier. Being chased, throws, got a man open. That's Crawford, and Crawford has the first down inside the 15-yard line at the 12.
And that was a great catch and a tough pass, but Ronald Curry put a move that Kelvin Fuller's still trying to figure out where he went.
Here's the replay. You're going to watch Curry going to his left. There you see the pass perfectly thrown, and Jermaine Crawford picks up the first down. They've marked the ball just inside the Booker T. Washington 12. Crabbers can get a first down without scoring. Curry wants to throw, got Blizzard open in the end zone. Oh, what a stick. Perfect defense.
Great hit by number 3.
That was perfect.
Cameron White.
Cameron White did exactly what he had to do because Blizzard had an easy touchdown.
Yes, he did.
White was there, and he made Blizzard know he was there.
He just couldn't bring the ball in and tuck it in. He hit him as the ball got to Blizzard's hand, and he hit him where the ball was coming in.
Perfect timing, perfect defensive play. That play was done perfectly by everyone on that play. The ball was thrown right on the money, but Blizzard couldn't hold on. Now this is Hollier. Hollier gets away from the tackler.
We got flags. They grabbing his face mask or something.
That'll probably be a face mask call, and that would cost an automatic first down to the Bookers.
Tim, we want to thank Gary Sylvie and all the people up here at Newport News for all the work they've done and all the help helping us set up and everything. Did a great job on the field tonight. As you know, we've had some rain every weekend.
Here's the replay. Now, Hollier was shaken up on that play. Let's see if we can detect the face mask call. Should have come right about here.
There it is. That's the face mask.
Man, he really turned his head around, and let's hope that Hollier is all right. Seems to be as he comes off the field with a little assistance from Diane Limerick.
Well, that takes the ball down where? On the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was your basic full 15-yard face mask call.
That hurt. I wasn't even looking at it.
Watch this again.
Watch that.
He made him. Oh, he really got a hold of it. I don't suggest for a minute that was intentional. Just sometimes you grab for the shoulder pad and you get the face mask. But boy, that was your classic 15-yarder if I ever saw one. So the Crabbers now without Hollier in the backfield. That's Mac Jones who's lined up in front of Crawford. And Curry first and goal at the 2. This is Crawford. No, check that. That was play action. Curry kept the ball, and he was thrown for a loss.
And that was number 8, Tim. Again, the Dwayne Williams doing a great job that time defensively.
So Ronald Curry is sacked, in essence, for a loss back to the 8-yard line. And now it brings up a 4th down.
We're going to have timeout.
The fourth can't be 4th down. Wasn't that an automatic first down on the face mask call? It can't be 4th down, can it? Wasn't that half the distance to the goal line tagged on to the plate?
Well, that's what I thought.
2nd down. Well, I'm confused, I have to tell you. I haven't been
They got 3rd on this side, 4th on that side. And you think it's 2nd?
It should be 2nd down because of the penalty on the play where it's a 15-yard penalty, half the distance, first goal. Should be 2nd and goal. I wonder if that's the same yard marker they had that week at Darling where they all had nothing but 1st and 4th.
Well, he needs to put it on 1st. It's closer than 4th.
Well, but the scoreboard says it's 4th down too, so I am a bit confused. In any event, Crabbers. Here's the replay of that last play where Curry on the play action kept the ball. Actually fumbled.
That's what happened on the, it was not a, I don't know if it was a bootleg or what it was, but he just went down and got the ball.
Well, they're working on the yard marker sign on the far side of the field. Apparently that it shows 4th down. So that's apparently what I was looking at and believing to be the case. Trying to fix that apparently. So for the 2nd time in this ball game, which is being dragged out rather lengthily here for a first half. They're still talking with the coaches, and I don't know what they're doing now. I do believe it is 2nd and goal.
And you're right, because it looked like Hollier almost picked up the first down, and then with the penalty tacked onto it down to the 2-yard line, had to be a first down. But they don't. If you look where the yard markers are, Tim, they've got where the first down would have been. That's where the other marker on the other side, you notice where the 10 yards in between, that's the far end. Now they're saying it's 3rd down. So evidently it wasn't quite enough for first down, as we see one of the, that's channel 3, or no, 13 in it.
Scott Cash.
Scott Cash. I don't recognize him with his hat on.
So the face mask penalty, which was half this goal, was not an automatic first down.
Right, so that would mean it was 2nd and probably about a foot.
Well, that's crazy. So because they were that close to the goal line, they don't get the benefit of a 15-yard penalty in the first down? That's insane. Oh, well. It is 3rd down, and it is not 3rd and goal. It's 3rd down at the 8. Flag down, pass in the end zone is knocked away, but a penalty flag down. Let's see what this one is about. Illegal shift.
Yeah, and that was George Cutler in the on the defensive. Good job that time by Cutler, defensive back on that side, knocking the ball away before it could get to Bobby Blizzard. So if they're going to take the down, make it 4th down, or are they going to make them move them back 5 yards?
Well, I would take the down if I were them.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Now it's 4th down. So you going to kick a field goal here or what?
There's never any telling, you know that. As soon as you think you've got this one figured out, you will see something otherwise. do not appear to be going for a field goal as they have the A team in there on attack. Hollier is back in there.
And Curry's in the shotgun.
So Hollier to his right. Now Hollier goes in motion coming to the near side. And then we've got
movement on the offensive line.
So the Crabbers will be penalized again. And again, this is not typical of the way the Crabbers have been playing as of recent days.
Great crowd, Tim. Look on the other side. Booker's brought a great crowd with them, and this side is packed.
As it should be.
It is.
All right, we're going to return for the replay of that action after this brief timeout. I had a feeling. All right, we did not take a break.
We'll take a break after the kick.
I bet we will. 16-0. Boonwrong's kick is up, and it is good. So the score now is 17-0 after the touchdown pass on 4th down from Ronald Curry to Muffin Curry. But I understand we're not going to a break.
Well, that's so much for our communication.
So Ronald Curry to Armando Muffin Curry, his cousin. Here's the replay. You're going to watch as Ronald Curry, being chased, throws the ball in the end zone. His cousin got open, and that's all it took. Muffin Curry, deep in the end zone, 13-yard touchdown pass and catch. For Muffin Curry, that is touchdown number 13 on the season. We're talking about, by the way, we're talking about the 2020 thing. I saw that in the Norfolk paper today. Ronald Curry has thrown for 20 touchdowns. He has also run or returned kicks for or interceptions returned for 20 more on the season. He has 40 touchdowns.
And that's 2020 vision no matter where you go, right?
2020 vision. So the Crabbers now have taken a 17-0 lead, very workmanlike and very methodically shoving this ball down the field and making this vaunted defense for Booker T. Washington pay the price. I told you, they have not seen a team like Hampton or a quarterback like Ronald Curry. Boonwrong's kick, a good one. This will be taken at the 14-yard line. This is Kelvin Fuller, and Fuller, a good return out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
It was a great return.
A 38-yard kick. Nope. 24-yard return on that kickoff, and it was a 46-yard kick. Bob Killen to my left providing these statistics to me, and I appreciate Bob and all of the effort he has given into our coverage this year. It's been a great addition to our
He really has. He's kept you with some instant statistics that just make you look like a world beater.
All right, the Bookers now down 17-0. Dominic Perry over center at the 38-yard line. The handoff to Marcus, and Marcus does a great job on second effort. He got 5 more yards after he was initially stopped.
Well, he was hit by somebody. He just bounced off and kept running, kept his feet going. And you and I have seen that if you keep your feet moving, even after you're hit, you're going to pick up some additional yards. You give him 8.
His big back, too. He's 5'11", 205, so he's not a little guy by any means.
Low center of gravity.
Hi, Mom. Gain of 8, second down and a pair. Ball at the Booker T. Washington 46-yard line. We're down inside of 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's Hampton 17 and Booker T. Washington nothing. Perry keeps, he's close to a first down. It would appear that he's about a half a yard short of the marker.
Well, I tell you, Jeremy Southern and Darnell Hollier had a lot to say about that.
Hey, were those two guys just happened to be our players of the game last week, right?
Yes, they were. And we will pick a couple more tonight, I hope.
So it's third down and about a half a yard for the Bookers, as they desperately need to get something on the board here. Look down here at a packed press box and saw a good friend of mine.
And they're going to give him the first down. Just got across it. Nice surge by the offensive line that time. Who do you see down here? Markowitz?
Bob Moskowitz.
He always shows up at these big games.
Yes, sir.
And you always say he's the best friend. The only time you see him is when he shows up to these games.
Right. Of course.
You need to get that hat like that when you play golf.
Long-time sports writer for the Daily Press. So the first down is registered by Booker T. That's just their second of the ball game. Show you how stifling the defense has been for Hampton. This is Dettrell, number 20, Dettrell Wood.
He ran right into Hollier and Muffin Curry. And on the bottom of the pile is Jarrett Green. Jarrett Green again playing a great job, doing a great job tonight defensively.
Tremaine Adams, who has been playing both sides of the ball for the Fighting Bookers, got up real slowly, number 51. He's been real strong for them on defense and clearly plays on the offensive line as well.
Well, Marcus Hagens, number 9, comes out.
10 carries for 34 yards. That is the total offense in the first half for the Fighting Bookers. Trying to add to that now as they get across the Hampton 45 before they're pushed back. As they unstack,
Adam Lively's doing a great job both defensively and offensively. He's got to snap the ball every offensive play. It was in on that tackle with Green.
That was Marcus again, Ronald Marcus carrying the ball to the 44 of Hampton. Brings up a third down at about 3. So if there is a crucial play here in the first half, you can consider this to be one. We're less than 5 minutes to go in the half. And Booker T. Washington needs to get some points before halftime.
Well, they had movement on the offensive line that time.
He won't call his name out, but the left tackle flinched.
I don't like to call their names out. I'll just say that was on the line.
So that'll cost them 5, and that was a very untimely error for them because it's tough enough to get 3 yards against Hampton in a third down situation. Now you've got to go 8 yards.
And you may see a passing situation. Ronald Curry is in at safety playing. He's playing Sperling at safety tonight.
4 penalty for 27 yards in the first half against the Bookers. And now an official's stoppage of play, and I'm not sure. Stepney, the coach, is out on the field, and I'm not exactly sure why he is there. The couple of the players for Booker T. Washington were over on the sideline talking to, to be quite honest with you, from this distance, I can't tell whether that was Coach Stepney that is out there talking to Jim Fay or
that's Larry.
Is it?
Yeah.
All the coaches are dressed in identical attire up here. I can't tell whether that was the head coach.
Well, and see, Mike always gives us a nice change. He puts his hat on backwards so we can always pick him out.
We can always spot him, you're right. And that is him to the left of your picture, and he's being explained to whatever this is that's going on. And now Mike Smith is giving some instructions to the players and coaches on the sideline. So not sure what that's all about. In any event, we're set to get this one back underway. Third down and 8 for the Fighting Bookers. Dominic Perry wants to throw. Looking downfield, now has a little running room, but that closes down rather rapidly. It'll be 4th down after the sack.
71 and
loss.
77. Ware and Mann, another 2 young men are doing a great job tonight.
Well, let's call Ware, number 71, Anthony Ware, not a name we've had a lot of time. He's just a sophomore. He's just a growing boy. He's 5'6", 237.
No. He's 6 foot 255. No, wait, we got Anthony Ware and Anthony Walker.
I'm looking at
Anthony Ware. He's 6 foot 255.
Close enough. I thought he was taller than that. He's a big boy no matter what.
Hey, you got that right.
Back in deep punt formation, Perry gets a good-looking kick away. Fair catch called for and taken by Ronald Curry at the 22-yard line. So the special teams doing a good job of eliminating that aspect of the Hampton game.
Well, I tell you, Calvin Fuller was right down there in Curry's face.
31-yard punt and no return. And the no return part is one of the better parts. We had an opportunity to talk with the broadcast team from the Eastern District.
That's WNPS. Channel 47.
Channel 47, a crew down here doing this game for the Norfolk side. And they were talking to me. They were telling me that all the Bookers could hope to do is to keep Curry from being able to make the big plays. And so far, that has been successful to this point. This is Ronald Curry, and Curry out for a first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, I'm going to give Demetrius Scott the tackle, but actually Curry just ran over the top of him. Great job that time on that quarterback draw. Watch it again. Nice block, and look at that offensive line. Adam Lively and the two guards that were doing a good job. And one of the guards is this young man, number 68. And you're going to have to pronounce his name.
Demetrius Scott made the stop.
No, that's not what I said.
The pitch to Hollier, trying to turn the right corner. He gets some running room. He's got 9 yards out to the 45, just short of another first down. In fact, depending on the mark, he may have gotten the first down.
Well, his last name, number 68, is K-I-R-I-A-Z-I-D-I-S. And you know how well you pronounce names.
Yeah, his first name is Georgius. Georgius K-Man.
I tell you, the K-Man doing a good job, 5'10", 210.
Karazidis is what I think that is, but I apologize in advance for mispronouncing it.
We have a timeout on the field, and who called the timeout? I believe the Bookers. I tell you, when you've got the line that does such a good job for the Crabbers up front, Adam Lively, Harris Edwards, Mann, Green, are your normal starters up there in that front five, Tim. They're doing a great job of opening up holes on that quarterback draw. I mean, I think you could have got through to the past the line of scrimmage. That was that big.
Karazidis.
Karazidis. There you go. I knew you would get it. You had
that's right.
Who'd you have to talk to? Let's give credit where it's due.
Talk to Bob Karazidis Jr. to my left here. He knows this stuff.
I tell you. Danny Mitchell told me how to pronounce his name, and I apologize because I couldn't remember. I haven't hard enough time remembering mine. Now you guys doing?
I got to keep Bob straight over here. I don't have time to talk with you.
You got to keep. I wondered I was talking to myself here. I almost answered myself, and then we're really in trouble.
2:38 is the time remaining here in the first half.
You know what happens when I ask myself a question and I say, well, what was it? I forgot the question. I'm in trouble.
What old age does for you, I'll tell you. I'm starting to experience some of those wonderful moments.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you a story in a minute. Second down and a yard. This is Crawford, and Crawford would appear to have enough for the first down as he is across the 46. That'll be a first down by about a half a foot. No, the one nice thing about getting older is when they show the reruns on TV, I don't remember when they showed them the first time, so it's just like seeing it for the first time.
I know,
like that NBC thing.
When my dad was still alive, he was in his 80s, early 80s, and he says he enjoys reading, and he says I read the same book because I forget what it was I read the first time. He said, it's a good book? I said, well, there you go. Just buy him one book. And he keeps reading it over and over because he can't remember.
Well, it's great when they replay those TV shows because all of them are just like you never saw. First down for the Crabbers at their 46. Hollier in motion to the left. Curry, plenty of time. Got a man wide open. That's Jay Brown. He's got the ball at the 35 to the 30 down to the 28, the 23-yard line. A first down for the Crabbers.
I mean, it's been like everybody's been ignoring Jay Brown tonight, and then all of a sudden, boom, you ignore somebody, Ronald Curry will find him. And we have it on replay.
Here it is.
Blocking.
A 31-yard pass and catch by Jay Brown and Ronald Curry. Mark it at the Hampton, check that, the Booker T. Washington 23-yard line, first down. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Curry, again, the quarterback draw, and he picks up about 3 to the 20. Hampton has, I believe, 2 timeouts remaining.
Great job that time by Adam Lively. Tim, he's got to center the ball and then pick up one of the charging guards off of that, or tackles off of that 5-man front that the Bookers have, and just drove him right out of the picture.
115 yards passing in this first half for Ronald Curry, and he's added another 44 yards rushing the ball. Direct snap out of the shotgun. Curry throws the end zone. Bobby Blizzard, touchdown.
What a crash. Tim, right in stride. Right in stride. Bookers have not seen anything like this. Nobody on the south side has seen anything like this.
Well, they might have seen it, but they saw it on the film.
Well, they've seen it on television. Watch this. If we got it now, we'll catch it after the extra point. But I tell you, Blizzard was running, Tim, and here we watch him line it up at split out, and he just caught it right in stride. Watch this.
On the money. They knew that pass was there. They had it a while ago, but to the benefit of Booker T, they did a nice job last time of separating Blizzard from the ball, but it didn't happen that time, as Bobby Blizzard held on, as you knew he would. And now the Crabbers try to make it 24-0 as we approach halftime. This is a fake. Almondo Curry, did he get a bad snap? I think it was. It looks like a busted play.
Boomerang throwing a block.
Picks up some blockers. Got one man to beat on the inside. He's still going. And Muffin Curry now throws, and it's going to be a 2-point conversion. Bobby Blizzard on the receiving end of a 2-point conversion.
Oh, you do all you can. You chase the man for 50 yards, and they get a 2-point conversion.
This has got to be one that you send to the networks for the blooper play of the week.
I watched one on Dave Letterman, and I'm not kidding. It was an 8-man football game. The quarterback or the center bends over, looks at the ball, says, "This is the wrong ball," picks it up and tosses it to the quarterback. He walks over to the coach who is holding up a ball, and everybody is watching him. He gets at the end of the line and ran in for 68 yards for a touchdown.
There you see
this ain't my ball trick.
The Hampton faithful giving their team a standing ovation after that one. If you watch this game long enough, you'll see almost anything. That was got to be one of the strangest extra point conversions I've ever seen.
What's even worse, Tim, if you looked over there, you saw about 4 or 5 fighting Bookers laying on the ground with their heads off. Just can't believe what had happened. We had him, we were tackling him, but did you see Jimmy Boomerang throw a block? This kid weighs 110 pounds soaking wet. Well, 121.
We'll hopefully show that one to you again.
Oh my goodness.
That was, I gotta think that was a busted play because he had, no, I mean from the get-go, because he had nobody to throw to.
Well, the snap was real low.
Well, in any event, the crowd is still buzzing over that one, as Muffin Curry had the presence of mind to look for a receiver, and just as importantly, none of the offensive line drifted downfield because they were all peeling back to try and block, so you didn't have an ineligible downfield. And probably the strangest 2-point conversion or any conversion you'll ever see on that play. All right, this was taken at about the 14-yard line. And now the team is fired up as Renair White is taken down after a short return.
That was number 88 on the tackle, Tim. We've seen that before, Marlon Burke.
So the Bookers, 46-yard kick, a 10-yard return, and they'll have it at their 23-yard line with just 1:06 remaining in the half. And Larry Stepney and his coaching staff have to be wondering what can they do. They've been not able to sustain a drive against Hampton on offense, and they haven't been able to stop them on defense.
Well, they've only given up 100 yards per game. How many total yards have they got already?
Well, they've got to be in the close to 200 range right now. We'll get that statistic for you. We'll have halftime statistics at the conclusion of the first half. This is Marcus, and you can hear the popping from up here as Marcus is met at the 25-yard line and pays dearly for 2 yards.
Well, that number 60, Harris, and Green in on the stop, but you're right. You heard that popping way up here. I know Bookers right now are saying, there's 40-some seconds, let's run one more play, and let's go to halftime and see if we can sneak out. No, let's see if we can't regroup and do some things. So this team does not give up, but they have run into a team that can put some points on the board and really play some defense.
We talked about the balance Hampton has. They have the good D to go along with the good offense. Flag down after a minimal gain. 269 yards is the offensive total for the Crabbers in the first half, and it's unlikely they'll get the ball back before halftime. So they're halfway to what they did last week against Green Run, which was over 500 yards.
Well, I don't know who the flag was on, but Jarrett Green made contact about 2 yards deep in the end zone. I mean, in the backfield, and Adam Lively and a group of others ended up making the stop, but there was
an illegal shift. You got 2 men in motion at the same time, and that cost them 5, and the clock is restarted, and Booker T will try and just run this clock out. They may not even snap the ball here. There you see a good look from the ground level at Dominic Perry, down to 5 seconds. So this will be the final play of the first half. Ronald Marcus conservatively on the ground as time runs out here at halftime. So the Hampton faithful stand to applaud their team. Bobby Blizzard says, yeah, we like that. Keep applauding. And we have reached halftime with our score, Hampton 25, Booker T. Washington, no score. We'll return to Todd Stadium with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout.
A player of the game will be selected from each team tonight. Those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located in Hampton, and DC Engraving, located at Tab Center in Yorktown. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin. They carry a full line of individual team supplies and can meet all your screen printing needs.
Channel 5 would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their support of the second half of tonight's game. Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. They answer the phone, and there's never an overtime charge. By Hampton Chevrolet, 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Also by Dr. Bruce Fuller, dermatologist. Visit his new location in the Denby Medical Zooms, home of the Bubba Club and the Sub Club, where you buy the 4th and the 5th one is free.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
Back at Todd Stadium. Here is the touchdown that Bobby Blizzard scored, the final touchdown of the first half, and we have a little treat for you. We also have for you the 2-point conversion. We'll get that for you in just a second. Halftime halftime statistics real quickly for the Bookers. They have 14 carries for 43 yards. That is their offense for the first half. Marcus, the leading rusher, was 7 for 33 yards. 2 first downs, 1 fumble, and they lost that one, and they were penalized 5 times for 32 yards. For the Crabbers, 22 carries for 134 yards, 6 of 12 passing for 135 yards. Again, that balance is just beautiful. Last week there was 140 yards passing and 140 yards rushing at halftime. Tonight, 134 and 135. You can't be more balanced than that.
Killer may be a yard off there somewhere. So it may be 135, 135.
That's true. Darnell Hollier, the leading rusher, 9 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver Bobby Blizzard, 3 for 57 yards and a touchdown. And the Crabbers 15 first downs, 2 fumbles. They lost 1 of those 2. And they were penalized just twice for a total of 10 yards. Ronald Curry, 6 of 12. And, of course, he scored. He threw for 2 touchdowns. 1 to Blizzard and 1 to Almondo Curry. Do we have the 2-point conversion for them now, Scotty?
Well, that's got to be a highlight film. If not, we'll get it.
We're going to try to get
highlight material. And I said that I was corrected here during the halftime that said that those Booker players drove on the other side with their heads off. I meant their helmets off.
The rain just at the conclusion of the halftime ceremonies has started pouring, and almost as mysteriously it has completely stopped, or almost stopped. So hopefully we'll get some more play in without the rain becoming a factor. But for the moment, it appears to have stopped. And we might get a break and have that occur. So Hampton will kick off to the Booker T. Washington team to start the second half. Ball gets away from the first man to get it. Now this is White, Rainier White, being chased by Muffin Curry. And they are dragging him out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line.
And that was number 74, young Jeremy Southern, that finished off that tackle.
Well, I apologize. That was a 47-yard kick and a 7-yard return. Thought we had that 2-point conversion for you, but we may still have it. I'm not sure. We've lost communication with the truck. The weather conditions the Gremlins are out there working against us, but we'll get it for you if we can.
Well, let's see what kind of adjustments that the Bookers did during halftime, because they've been running all these, trying to spread the defense out, and it looks like they're doing the same thing.
Wood and Marcus in the backfield behind Perry.
Well, that's the first time they've kept 2 backs in.
Perry now dumps the pass off to Marcus, and he gets yardage across the 20 to about the 22, a pickup of about 3.
Adam Lively in on the tackle that time, along with Jared Green, 2 of the young men that along with many others that were considered for player of the game.
4-yard gain as they in fact mark the ball. Well, no, check that 3. Okay, I'll get it right yet. At the 22, so it's a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7. They moved the ball back from the 22 to the 23, back to the 22. Messing with my mind here. Perry.
Wood. Right in the backfield by number 74 again for the Crabbers, Jeremy Southern.
Oh, Detrell Wood, the ball carrier. He fumbled on the very first play of the ball game, or at least the first play of possession by Booker T. And the Crabbers.
Well, Southern was the first to hit him, and right behind him came Jared Green.
So 3rd down and 5 now for the Booker T. Washington Fighting Bookers as you're watching the Eastern Regional Division 5 Regional Finals. 3rd down and 5, Hampton and Booker T. Washington. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen coming to you from the Todd Stadium in Newport News. Picked off, almost picked off. Boy, I saw that one coming, as did the defender on the play.
Who's that, Bobby?
That's Bobby Blizzard. He saw that ball and looked about the size of a beach ball by the time he got there.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Just out of his reach.
Well,
you can see that one.
Ball kind of fluttered. It looked like a wounded duck coming out there.
Blizzard just out of his reach. And now that'll bring up 4th down and 5, and Perry will be back in deep punt formation.
One thing that has been, especially this first half, the special teams for the Bookers have been real good.
This is a good-looking kick. High kick takes a Hampton bounce, and it is gathered in by the Fighting Bookers.
And now they say Hampton. It hit a foot.
That's a bad call. I watched it from here. I don't know what that official saw. And I guess he's going to say that it actually touched a Hampton player.
But see, they hit it first. So
yeah, they touched it first.
You can do that.
Well, we'll let them
My
unravel.
understanding, Tim, is if the kicking team touches the ball, then the offensive player can touch it again. Watch the replay here. The ball takes a funny bounce, goes back.
That same thing that happened. So they've not given the ball to the Bookers. Now watch here. It's going to take
illegal
a back
touch.
spin.
Right here, it hits a Booker player will touch it. Right here, well that now Hampton can have the ball at that spot, or
I just don't think it touched him. See, it never did touch him. Well, it's a moot point because the Crabbers have the ball nonetheless. And I think your interpretation is exactly the case, where they illegally touched the ball to begin with.
Well, they can touch the ball, but then you notice that the official threw the white bag down to mark the spot where it was first touched.
Because think about this, if I am the team, if I'm Booker T, I could bat it into a Hampton player
Absolutely.
and cause him to touch it, and then I would recover it, which wouldn't make any sense.
Saying you can't do
So
that.
the reason it might have touched him is because the ball was misdirected by the Booker T Washington player. And I'm sure that's the explanation that Jim Fay has given to the other side. And
well, I know that they're upset on that side because they didn't see what happened, but the coaches know the rules, and they do know that the kicking team, touches the ball, it's still a live ball. The receiving team pick it up and run, but you can't get the ball because of illegal touch after the kicking team's already touched.
Because if not, I'm the Booker T guy. I'm going to throw it at you.
Sure.
All right. After all of that, it's Hampton ball. And the ball batted down as Curry was trying to find Curry. That's
was wide open or what? Great job that time. Was that number 8 that got his hands on the ball? I believe was Williams. Has played a great game for the Fighting Bookers tonight. Williams is a just 190, a 5'11" senior. Plays both fullback and the inside linebacker.
2nd and 10 at the Bookers 49-yard line. Quick drop pass completes to Jay Brown, and he is down at the 39-yard line, very close to a first down.
He slipped him as he started to make his move.
And that grass, the field is going to be a little slippery because we did have a pretty good downpour just before the start of the second half. But I am glad to say that the rain at the present time has stopped completely. Now they're going to bring the chains across.
Okay, Eagle Eye.
It's first down.
Look at that. Look at the shot they got of Bob Kellett.
I'm telling you, the man, and they got me this post right here. This is the first down. This is an easy first down. He got it by about a foot at least.
All right, he's saying a foot. Man, this man is never wrong. Whoa!
I wouldn't go quite that far. It is the first down. I was
Man, ain't no foot.
It's a first down. I got to quit calling my shots. That's my problem.
Hey, you're not wrong yet, except on the distance.
That's right. So Hampton has a fresh set of downs. The ball is at the Fighting Bookers 38-yard line. 9:35 to go in the third quarter. Hampton 25, Booker T Washington nothing. Going long, double coverage, and that was thrown away as much as anything. There was no chance to make that grab as the Bookers had double coverage and good tight coverage as was.
That's Burke, number 88, Tim. And actually what Curry did that time was put the ball that the only one who was going to be able to catch it would have been young Mr. Marlon Burke.
Let me remind you again that the Kickoff Warrior Western Branch game can be seen here on Channel 5 Sunday night at 7:30. This Hampton game will be replayed Tuesday at 7:30. Kickoff will also be showing at 7:30 Monday night as well. So check the Channel 5 listing for the times for the games. Curry wants to throw. Lofts it in the end zone. There's contact, a lot of contact, but no penalty flag. Looked like someone's arm was hooked over someone else's arm, but to be honest with you, I could not tell who was doing what to whom.
No, that was a good no call.
That was Muffin Curry out on the pattern and having a few words to say. Now we've got a penalty flag, and I think they've got roughing the passer against Booker T. Washington, and that will give them. I never could get an answer as to why there was no automatic first down on that.
You tried to find out?
Well, here's the replay. See if you can see how well the coverage was, and then if you can pick up the late hit on Ronald Curry. Well, we will not, as they hand away, and there you saw the intended pass to Muffin Curry. So it is a first down at the Booker's 24-yard line. Hampton 25, Booker T. Washington nothing. If Hampton wins this game, they will host next Saturday afternoon, either at Todd Stadium or Darling Stadium.
We got Hollier at tight end, and we got trips to the left.
You got Jermaine Crawford in the middle slot there. And they're going to float it over here, and it's picked off. And a good defensive effort by number 77 of Hampton to prevent a run back. That's Raymond Mann, who grabbed the interceptor before he had a chance to get going. We've got an injured Crabber down.
That's number 60, Tim. That's Dariel Harris, who is holding his knee. Let's just hope it's a cramp or something. But that was a screen pass being set up that just did not. He goes by Dariel Harris.
Okay. But the interception on the pass for the Bookers will give them the ball, and that might be the break that they were looking for to see if they can get untracked. And Harris not leaving the field under his own power by any means. Here's the replay. As you watch Ronald Curry, he'll look to his left, and this was set up all along to come to the near side. The pass intercepted by Kelvin Fuller.
Well, that was a tight end screen with Darnell Hollier playing the tight end with trips to the top of the screen. Nice call, but it was also great defense that time.
Well anticipated by the Bookers, and they've got the ball now at their 31-yard line. Perry looking to put some yardage on the books, throws, and it is incomplete. Was that ball tipped? Because it looked like it
died about 3/4 of the way to the receiver, Tim.
A strange looking pass, because the man was well downfield, and all of a sudden the ball was 15 yards short of the intended receiver.
It may have been tipped, or sometimes a quarterback will overthrow, get too much thumb in it, and the ball just does not come out clean, and that could have happened. That was the first time that Perry has been able to throw the ball and not be hit as he's thrown it.
Only one completion in 6 attempts for Perry, just 3 yards on the night.
And that was that little dump off.
Yep. Bursted in motion. Again, Perry wants to pass, fakes and continues to look, and is picked off. This is Hollier. Darnell Hollier, he's inside the 20. It'll be first down, Hampton.
Man, did you see the block that Adam Lively threw? Oh, goodness sake. They're all hitting out there, boomeranging the ball.
So the teams trade interceptions here in the third quarter. And the Hampton Crabbers will get it
if
back.
you remember, the first pass was intended for Hollier, and he figured he had one coming, right?
One coming. Watch this. Now, Perry is going to fake the short pass, wants to go long, and then decides to just kind of put it over the middle. An ill-advised pass because Hollier was waiting on it. And Darnell Hollier brought down after the interception by Kip Washington, but not before getting to the 18-yard line. And now we've got flags down.
Well, Kip Washington, Tim, actually tackled him in self-defense.
It's called he got run over. Penalty flags are thrown. We've got a dead ball foul, encroachment against, offsides.
Offside to line up in the neutral zone.
Usually when you see the hands on the hips, that means the defense was in the neutral zone, but this time it's against Hampton. So they'll mark off 5, and that'll make it 1st and 15 for Hampton. 8:51 remaining here in the third quarter. No scoring in the second half. Now Curry has to pick up the loose ball. Gets away from the would-be tackler. Looking downfield, running, and gets back basically to the original line of scrimmage, which is about the 18-yard line. So a gain of 5 after all of that.
That was just a low center that time. Just didn't get up, get any air underneath the ball.
So actually they end up gaining about 7 because he picked up, it's about third down and 8 now. Or second down and 8, I'll get it right yet. Because there was a penalty on it.
That's right.
Kept the first down. So that's 2nd and 8. 7-yard pickup by Ronald Curry. All at the 17 of Booker T. Washington. Each team has traded an interception here. This is Hollier's got some running room. He's looking for the seal. He's got the touchdown.
I tell you, Muffin Curry did a great job with the seal block.
17-yard run made it look easy. The vaunted defense of the Booker T. Washington team is not looking all that tough this afternoon or this evening against this high-powered Hampton offense. 31-0 and getting worse. Can't imagine we'll have a conversion to rival the one we saw in the latter part of the half.
If we do, we better get this one on tape.
We've got encroachment. Looked like the left end.
That's exactly what happened to him. He ran right into the neutral zone. Tries to act like he didn't, but he most certainly did.
Well, his contention would be that he was pulled off, but that is not the way the officials.
Oh, and let's go for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, let's go for a planned 2-point conversion. Now, we saw Hampton do this against Green Run with great success last week. They had 4 2-point conversions in that ball game.
And I tell you, that young man's in your screen right there, number 89, made some just unbelievable circus catches on 2 of those 2-point conversions.
So after the penalty, Hampton will in fact try for 2, leading 31-0. The pitch to Hollier, and Hollier will just walk in the end zone, barely touched. To Hollier, who had a couple of them last week, adds to his total now, and the Crabbers with a comfortable 33-0 lead over Booker T. Washington. You're watching the Group AAA Division 5 Regional Championships. The Hampton Crabbers looking for their 38th win in a row. Get a chance to watch this again. This is going to be coming right at you. This is Darnell Hollier, and he will just get into the end zone.
Well, that was such a great block. That was such a great block by Muffin Curry, Tim.
All right, we're going to have a 2-point conversion that you get to see as well. That was the touchdown. They didn't even touch it. We'll have this for you. Well, let's hear it. Here it is right here. The pitch to Hollier, and Hollier just basically walked in.
Well, the first one he went outside. That one he went inside, and there's your score. I mean, that'll wreck your 5.9 points per game average that you had coming in, won't it?
33 points in the. We haven't even reached the halfway point of the third quarter yet. Jimmy Boonrong will kick it, and it's taken by Salter at the 13-yard line, and a good return all the way out to the 39-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, there was a Booker was throwing a block, and young Mr. Marlon Burt pancaked him.
46-yard kick, a 25-yard return. There's our main man, number 3, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, Matthew, I tell you, nobody enjoying this any better than he is.
So the Bookers now will start from their 39-yard line after the fine 25-yard return by Salter. And the Fighting Bookers.
Well, they got trips to the top, and now they're bringing
I don't
man
think
in motion.
they're sure who's supposed to be where, as Burston is in motion. Flag comes down because I'm not sure he was ever set to begin with. He was always in motion.
Well, he can be in motion if there's nobody else in motion, but he can't be running towards the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're calling illegal formation or illegal procedure. I mean,
I got to tell you that number 2 was a lost man. He had no idea where he was supposed to be or what he was supposed to be doing. He was going to the left. No, I'm going to the right. No, I'm going to the left. Oh my gosh, someone snapped the ball.
Go snap it too soon.
So that'll cost the Fighting Bookers 5 yards on the illegal procedure.
And they've only had 2 first downs the whole game.
That's 8 penalties now for 53 yards. And the first down totals, I don't think they've gotten one here in the second half, and they had just 2 in the first half. So all this talk of the defense, as so often is the case, the Crabbers are the ones excelling in that department. Handoff up the middle. That's Demetrius Scott, who carries the ball for one of the rare times in this ball game. In fact, that is his first carry of the ball game. And coming into this game, he was listed with 104 carries for 400+ yards.
Tim, we got a new number 61, Michael McMurray for the Crabbers, 5'9", 190, in on the tackle with Hollier that time. Big 78, looks like Wayne Veeney is in there.
Gain of 5 at second down and 10. And the right side, not much happening there as Marcus carries the ball. Ronald Marcus is pushed back after he picks up maybe 2. So that'll bring up third down and 8 for the Fighting Bookers. Approaching the halfway mark of the third quarter. The only score in the third quarter was the 17-yard touchdown by Darnell Hollier, and he also tacked on the 2-point conversion. They're down at about 8. Perry going deep, and it's incomplete. It's intended for Salter. That was a good-looking pass. It's just a little too tall.
Well, young Mr. Muffin was right there with him. Might have got a hand on it.
Mr. Muffin, is that his new name?
Mr. Muffin.
Mr. Muffin. I think that's
I
Mr.
tell you, I'll call him Mr. the way he's playing out there.
Incomplete pass brings up fourth down at 8. And Perry, who's been rather busy in the punting department, will be back again. And it's blocked. The ball picked up by Burston. Now they can advance it, and he will not get the first down. So that will give the ball to Hampton at the 45-yard line.
Green right on there.
Jarrett Green blocking the punt. So the Hampton special teams excel. They not only blocked the punt, it looked for a moment that Jermaine Burston might be able to get some yardage after he picked it up.
And he just
drew by
his man.
He buried his man, and there you see Burston as he tried to get it back, and Muffin Curry, number 2, on the tackle to prevent the first down. So now Hampton gets it again at the 45 of Booker T. Washington.
Well, Marlon Burke's in there. Watch for him to get the ball.
Double wides to the near side, and the draw play is a loss of about 5. Jermaine Crawford, and the defense for the Bookers was all over that play.
Yeah, number 50 right in the middle of it.
Darrell Reed. So 4-yard loss on the down. That's 2nd and 14 now. As we are less than 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And again, barring some miraculous miracle return, that's redundant, I think. Miraculous miracle is a bit redundant, but if somehow the Bookers were to pull this one out, they would host next week. But as it is, if Hampton continues to lead and wins this ball game, they will host the semifinals of Division 5 next Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And that'll either be here at Todd Stadium or at Darling Stadium. Ronald Curry looking, wants to pass, and overthrows either Brown or Blizzard. Looked like it was Blizzard that it was intended for. The big tight end was a good 40 yards downfield. Speed is not something he lacks, and he's got the power to go along with it.
And he's got the hands to catch the ball. You get it close to him.
So now it's 3rd down and 14 after the incomplete pass. Blizzard will check out, get a breather.
As will Jay Brown.
Well, now Brown stays in.
He stays in.
Started to go out, but he stays in. And he'll have to get set pretty quickly here, or the Crabbers will be called for illegal procedure. He does finally, in fact, they get set. 7 of 17 with 1 pick for Curry, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. As he looks downfield now, feels some major pressure, throws this one up pretty much for grabs, and I'd say he threw that one away. You'd have a good case for intentional grounding in that call. Don't know about all the rules about being in the tackle box and all that stuff, but he simply threw that one away because they were all over him. They had that play well read.
Bobby Jordan, one of the outside linebackers, number 9, putting a lot of pressure on, and that brings up a punting situation, which we have seen the Crabbers go into the punt formation, not punt.
Leading 33-0, it would not surprise me, but they are appearing to be in deep punt formation. Last week against Green Run, Curry lined up about 10 yards behind the center, which is about where he is now.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not much, about 11 or 12 yards now.
Curry, of course, is the regular punter, although others have punted this year, including Hollier. And now we've got a penalty for delay of game.
Well, number 62 for the Crabbers, Craig Kohler, is the long punter. I'm sorry, is the long snapper for the punts.
So more than likely, and I use that because you never know, this is a punt. That's the 4th penalty against Hampton for 20 yards. Curry does get it away. It's a good-looking punt. And it takes a Hampton bounce, and it goes out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So again, Booker T. Washington will have the ball with 4:18 remaining in the third. And Hampton leading 33-zip.
Well, Miss Tina over here looks like she's getting a little bored.
Yeah, she'd like to see a little
find something for her to do. Give her a microphone or something.
Here.
Huh?
She'd like to see some, a little excitement on the field.
Yeah, this is a little boring for her right now.
Yeah. Well, stick around for a few minutes. Something will happen, I'm sure. Always does when Hampton's involved.
You got that right.
From their 22-yard line, the Fighting Bookers. Dominic Perry has been all the way at quarterback. Out of the I formation, Burston goes in motion to the right. Perry back to pass. Hits Burston. That's just the second completion of the ball game for Perry. And it's a gain of about, let's call it 4. Harlier and Mann in on the stop for Hampton. Interesting, right now the crowd on both sides are just kind of sitting on their hands, just kind of waiting for something to happen.
And they hope it's not rain.
Perry wants to pass again. Now steps up, gets away. No, he does not get away from a
Jared Green
tackler. Jared Green with the big meat hook out there trips him up. And Perry is down for a sack. Mike Smith working the sidelines as he does in any game. You can't tell by his mannerisms whether they're up by 70 or down by 7.
Well, I don't think the Crabbers have been down by 7.
I was going to say it hadn't happened in a long time. 3rd down and 11.
Hit him! Hit him!
Perry has time. Over the middle, completes the pass. That's Salter, and he has a first down. Just the 3rd of the ball game for Booker T.
And Armando in on the stop, but that was a good pattern. Nice, good protection that time.
Well, he had excellent time. He had enough time to sit back and find a receiver. So at the 37-yard line, a 15-yard gain and a first down. 2:32 left in the 3rd quarter. Perry again exclusively passing, gets the big rush and has the ball incomplete. As coming from the right side, was that Green again? Or
no, that's 85. Darryl Cooper.
All right, we're going to return to Todd Stadium for further action after this brief timeout. Back at Todd Stadium, Perry now behind center, 3 out of 10 with 1 interception, just a total of 22 yards passing. And he feels the big pressure again, gets away from the rush over the middle, and he's got the man that he found earlier, that's Salter.
And he found Adam Lively.
He has it to the 45, which will be a 3rd down and 2. Gain of 8 on the play.
Who was that? Was that?
That was 74 putting the big pressure on him. That's Southern.
That's
Jeremy.
Southern.
This kid is really good looking. He's going to be a real strong point for them next year when he's a senior. What? Jared Green's going to be back along with Southern. Raymond Mann will be back.
Yeah, he'll be back for 2 more years. He just sophomore. 3rd down and 2. Minute 22 left in the 3rd. Booker T trying to get a drive sustained. Oh, what a beautiful blitz in the middle there. That's Jared Green.
75, Jared Green, as the ball was just handed to the running back, and he was tripped up. So now it's 4th down and 4, almost 5.
Knowing you're going to get a first down, right?
Here's the replay. Watch this. Marcus.
He just blew by the defensive man.
Never had a chance. And with that, Perry goes back in deep punt formation. Of course, both of these teams use their quarterback as their punter. Perry this time gets it away. It's a line drive end over end. This is the kind that comes back. Curry down the sideline. And he steps out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Is he exciting or what?
So the Crabbers will get it back. 27 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Here's the replay. This is the kind of kick that you don't want to get to Ronald Curry.
Those line drives are not the kind that you could cover very well. Oh, great camera work. Talk about a crew tonight, too. Doing a great job.
As always. So from the 47, almost the 46, the Crabbers will start this possession. On the pitch, this is Hollier, and Hollier tries to turn the right end, gets to the 43-yard line when he's stopped. Pickup of about 5.
Ronald Marcus in on the tackle, number 24.
That will be the final play of the third quarter as they mark it at the 43. Pickup of, let's change that and make it a gain of almost 4. And that is the conclusion of the third quarter. So a Todd Stadium crowd is treated to 3/4 of Hampton High School football. After 3, it's 33-0 in favor of the Crabbers. The fourth quarter of the Channel 5 Game of the Week is brought to you through sponsorship of the following. Zooms, home of the Bubba Club and the Sub Club, where you buy the 4th and the 5th one is free. By Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Also by Dr. Bruce Fuller, dermatologist. Visit his new location in the Denby Medical Center.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
And by Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. Call Mark or Kenny. They service and install most brands.
A player of the game will be selected from each team tonight. Those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located in Hampton, and DC Engraving, located at Tab Center in Yorktown. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Poquoson. They carry a full line of individual team supplies and can meet all your screen printing needs.
Back here at Todd Stadium, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and Bob Killen and the Channel 5 crew as you look at the mighty Crabber and some of the fans on the sideline. Only score in the third quarter was the 17-yard run by Darnell Hollier, and Hollier added the 2-point conversion to make it 33-0 as Hampton led 25-zip at halftime. Officials getting everything set here, and we are about ready to get the final 12 minutes of this ball game and of the season for one of these two teams. Bookers were a victim of Hampton, and Ronald Curry slips and falls before he had a chance to even do anything. But these Bookers were a victim of Hampton back in 1994, a game we did at Darling Stadium when they came in and were flying high, and Hampton crushed them in that game. Booker T never was in the game, and I think pretty much the same.
Never been in this game either. So. What do the guys say? Deja move? I mean, that's only if you're talking to a cow. I've seen that milk before.
I don't know where that was coming from. Curry takes the loss on the slip. Brings up third down and about 14. Curry zips it over the middle. Nice catch for the first down at the 32-yard line.
Oh, Brown is saying no.
Oh, I thought that looked nice from here. Jay Brown looked like he had it, but the official right on top of the play. Boy, did he have some zip on that ball.
Wow. That like a bullet.
So the incomplete pass. Watch this
replay.
I don't think you'll be able to tell. Sure looked.
Oh yeah, the ball was laying on the ground as he rolled over. Good call.
But that was a bullet. That ball didn't go more than 3 feet off the ground, or higher or lower than that. It was a straight shot. Fourth down now. Fourth down, the Crabbers going for it, and at least they're going to pick up, well, it looks like they should have had 5. They had a man in the neutral zone and didn't call it again.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, is trying to draw them offside, pick up 5 yards, make it a little easier.
It clearly looked like one of the defensive players stepped in.
Kickoff.
So we're happy to announce to you that the Kickoff Warriors have handed Western Branch their first defeat of the season, 14-7.
I tell you, Killen is amazing. I don't know why he doesn't pick the numbers on a ladder. I don't know.
I want to see him about the games for tomorrow. I'll get my sports book in the Jamaican Islands and get some money down here. The man has, what did he say that the game was going to be?
He says Kickoff was going to win close. And he said in this game, Hampton was going to beat him by 30-0. And they weren't even going to score.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. Say hey to Scott.
It's pretty close to what we got going on here.
Are we doing good tonight? Is it dry in there? Because it's wet out here.
I don't know who's talking, but
well, it's wet here, dry there. There he is.
You always were smarter than me.
I'm not sure who that was, but
he's having a good time.
He just told everybody he wasn't that smart. So.
Well, on 4th down now, Curry will throw, and he makes the grab very close to the first down. It is a first down.
And that's Crawford.
Jermaine Crawford had to turn around. That was a great catch by Crawford, because that was not an easy catch to make. That is a first down. Mark it and move the chains. So we've seen this happen a few times. 19 yards, 4th and 19, and you pick it up.
Well, Tim, how many times have we seen these young men go down and get the yardage they need for a first down, be it 19 or 29 or what?
Well, and again, you know, you hear this talked about so often in the pros and in the big college games, the importance of running the necessary route to get the first down. He was right at the first down marker, and it was right there. And now, right there, talk about right there, the defense was waiting for the ball carrier, and that is William Monago, number 44, in the ball game for the first time, but that was not his problem.
No.
He didn't get any blocking that time, and Monago was stopped for a loss. Monago on the season, 23 carries for 160 yards.
And Hampton takes another timeout.
Curry with 164 yards passing in this ball game. Added another 44 rushing for 210 yards of passing and running in this game.
Well, Kickoff again is going to make it to the semifinals of the state. They did that last year. Had some injuries last year, most notably Marlon Hicks, who was involved in a car accident and actually missed 2 or 3 games, and another young man, a couple other young men were hurt during that ball game. So, you know, Kickoff, you know, the only buzzsaw they ran into this year is just the Hampton Crabber team.
Well, if you have to lose to someone, you can hold your head up high when it's the Hampton Crabbers.
Yes.
So Kickoff will make it to the semifinals of Division 6, and they will travel to the Richmond area next Saturday afternoon.
Well, we got Muffin and Crawford in the backfield.
The pitch goes to Muffin. This is Muffin Curry, and he stepped out of bounds, but the official didn't notice it. I did. Stepped out at the 30. 28-yard line is where they mark his, check that 27-yard line is where they mark his progress. That's a gain of almost 9. Let's call it a long 8, make it 2nd down and a short 2. These shorts and longs are hard to keep up with. For every long, there has to be a short. I just want you to know.
Okay. I'm still thinking about something else. That's all right.
3rd down. And They need to get to the 25-yard line to get the first down. Curry audibilizing at the line. Gives to Crawford, and Crawford has the first down at about the 21-yard line. Jermaine Crawford with an assist up off his derriere.
Well, I tell you, he ran over number 51, Tremaine Adams.
And he's no little guy to run.
I know it.
He's 6 foot, a 225-pounder, and
Crawford's only 5'9", 170.
Yeah, he's not in the same size category to speak of. But,
well, he run more like 270 that time. We're right over the top of him.
Fresh set of downs. Curry feels some pressure, gets away from a couple of would-be tackles. Now he just steps out of bounds after picking up some yardage at about the 16 or 17. Check and see where they marked the ball.
Laurel Reed is just saying, what do I got to do to catch him? I know those young men, you know, the Bookers had a fantastic year. Done a great job. Larry Stephanie and his crew over there just done an outstanding job, but you know, they are just beside themselves trying to figure out what it is we got to do as we watch the replay.
Watch this. I mean, he looks like he's there. Nope, he's not there either. These guys just chase him, and he just dips outside, and he eludes the tackler. Blizzard is dragged down at about the 2-yard line.
He was so mad he could see touchdown written all over that.
So Bobby Blizzard is down at the 2, and that'll be first and goal for Hampton. 8:41 remaining in the ball game. And the clock is restarted. First and goal at the 2. So it'll be Hampton next Saturday afternoon hosting at 2 p.m. either at Todd or Darling Stadium.
And if we
on the
right,
condition
I
of
think
the
it's
field.
Verina.
Looks to be a Verina team that has upset. What was the team we were talking about?
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry.
Yeah, Patrick Henry ran into the Crabbers last year in that monsoon and thought, well, you know, rain and mud is an equalizer. Well, Hampton didn't know it was rainy or muddy because they beat them 51-0.
Nobody told Hampton. Curry picks up a yard. Second and goal at the 1. Blizzard now 4 grabs for 71 yards in the game and a touchdown. Curry just bursts over the middle for the score.
It's an easy way to do it. Well, they went Killen's, as goes Killen's prediction. He said 30 points, and it's 40.
Yes, he wasn't even close. Said he'd win by 30 is what he said.
Oh, win by 30. Well, they're going to win by more than 30. What are you going to do about that?
So the scoring tonight, a 28-yard field goal, the first of the season for Jimmy Boonrong. A 33-yard by Hollier, a 17-yard run by Hollier, a Muffin Curry pass from Ronald Curry, a pass to Blizzard from Curry, and now Ronald Curry scores one from 1 yard out. They try to make it 40-0. Kick is up, and it is through the uprights. So the Crabbers extend their lead to 40-zip with 7.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. And the BTW crowd, along with a number of Hampton fans, make their way to the exit.
They said, well, it's been a good season.
And we've been very fortunate because the rain has held off. Interestingly enough, it had a downpour just as the teams were coming back from the locker room at halftime. But fortunately, it has held off here in the third, fourth quarter. If we get any kind of luck at all, it'll hold off until we can get all the stuff. Here's the replay. The blocking just surging into the end zone, and Ronald Curry following that fine blocking as he has all year, the offensive line for the Hampton Crabbers. And again, when we get a chance, we'll mention their names again. But the starting offensive line for Hampton has just done an incredible job.
They really have.
Game in and game out.
And we're talking young men that, and these starters, and there's a lot of people come in and relieve them, but Adam Lively playing that center position, Darrell Harris and Gregory Edwards playing the guards, Raymond Mann, Jared Green playing the tackles. Just those 5 interior linemen have just been awesome this year and have gotten better and better and better as the season goes along.
And the kickoff is out of bounds, and that will give the ball to the Bookers at the 41-yard line. So they can take it right there where it went out of bounds. It's that little pooch kick that Hampton used last week on a couple of occasions. In fact, recovered an onside kick last week with that kick.
Well, and that was just a little too far. It went out of bounds, but it just keeps the team off balance. The other team doesn't know what to expect. While Hampton's got the ball, while they're kicking the ball, while they might punt the ball. Notice I said might because you never know.
Well, it was 4th and 19 a while ago, and a normal team would have punted. Ball was at about the, what was it at the opposing team's 48 or 49-yard line. It wasn't like it was down inside the 20. And they picked up the 19 yards, enough for a first down, and kept the drive going and ultimately scored. So the Bookers now, this looks a little like Green Run last week. They'd just like to get this one over with so they can head to the south side and have a chance to tell everybody over there what they ran into. And Perry calls timeout.
I tell you, we're looking at a lot of people for the play of the game, starting with Bobby Blizzard and Armando Curry and Darnell Hollier, Ronald Curry, Jared Green, Raymond Mann, Adam Lively, Jeremy Southern.
You could keep reading for a while longer.
William Harris, and that's just a few. I mean, these, you could just go down and pick anybody on that team and give them a play of the game tonight. And it's not going to be an easy thing for us to do.
Why don't you say so?
Speaking of players of the game, we've got a crew of the game that we want to talk about as well. Make sure we given reference to them. We have Nathaniel Braxton up here, nice and dry this evening, working to our left, doing his, as usual, superb job. Then we've got Sarah Bowers on the other high camera. Ron Baton giving you the shot you're looking at right now from the sideline. He is, of course, helped out immeasurably by the Twins. In the truck, Bev Penn working the instant replay, eating some Chinese food from my favorite restaurant tonight before the game started. Right around the corner. That's man, they got the best orange chicken you ever ate in your life around there. Up the middle, Hollier has Perry, and Perry will be sacked back at the 35-yard line.
And nobody touched.
Also, Bianca Pettaway working the graphics for you tonight. And, of course, Scotty Bowers at the helm of the good ship.
And they have been doing a lot of patchwork. They did the Citizen of the Month today and went from there out here and set up, and some things are not working just right, and we can't hear Scotty tonight, but I tell you what, this crew does a great job, game in, game out, day in, day out.
Perry now in the game, 4 rushes for minus 15 yards. So did I get everybody? Scotty Bowers, our director.
Yeah, I think you've got everybody.
Good job as always, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all of your efforts. And hopefully the fans do too. This is going to be a big play for the Bookers as they have the ball all the way down to the Hampton 35-yard line on the pass play. And that's a big boy that got a hold of that pass.
That's number 11, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. That's number 11.
They got him listed at 215. He looks bigger than that.
Yeah, he looks a lot bigger than that. So the Bookers get a big first down, and they've got the ball at the Hampton 35-yard line after the 31-yard play.
Well, and Perry had time to find, as we watch it, he had time to find the receiver. Nice move after catching the ball, but he looks like he's bigger than 210 or whatever they got him listed, 215.
First down at the Hampton 35. Of course, the Crabbers want to preserve this shutout if they can. Perry has time, now steps up, and he'll run with the ball. And he'll take a slide at the 29-yard line.
Bobby Blizzard said, come on, I wanted to tackle you.
Discretion being the better part of valor there, I believe.
He said, listen, I'm going to go down. I know I'm not going any further anyway, and I want to be able to throw the next time.
I want to be able to pick up that turkey leg next Thursday with both hands if I want to. A gain of 6 on the play, so a pretty good effort by Perry there. Brings up 2nd down and 4 for the Fighting Bookers of Booker T. Washington as the crowd continues to file out here at Todd Stadium. Got an official stoppage of play here for something, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, maybe equipment. Usually that's what it is.
101 yards total offense for the Bookers. So the tables have been turned on them tonight. That's what they usually give up, and that's all they've been able to get tonight. And again, we're happy to announce that the Kickoff Warriors have advanced to the state semifinals of Division 6 with a 14-7 victory over Western Branch tonight.
Michael McMurray, I mean, he said, welcome.
Bobby Blizzard a little gimpy after that last play as he looked to might have hurt himself. But he stays in the ball game. The ball at the 30 after the 1-yard loss. So instead of gaining yardage, they lose a yard. It brings up 3rd and 5. And now Perry has to burn yet another timeout with 5:01 remaining in the ballgame.
Now that's got to be at least 2, if not 3 timeouts.
Well, he's called 2 in this drive alone, so. So Booker T trying to get something positive out of this game, and they'd like to say, hey, at least we scored against the Crabbers.
Yeah.
But they're still a long ways from that goal as the ball is at the 30.
Yeah, and
it appears Hampton's opponent next week will be a Verina team that upset Patrick Henry.
yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you start looking to the next opponent, and Patrick Henry may have been looking to Hampton to avenge that 51-0 drubbing in the state championship last year. And you get to thinking about that game, and boom, what do you know? We don't get to go to the semifinals because the Verina was focused in what they wanted to do. I see old buddy Bunny Brown is here. He was one of the very first to get here. Got his seat right down in front.
3rd down and 5 for Perry. Swing pass left side. And very close to a first down, depending on where he went out of bounds. It would appear that he was right at the, no, he's short of the marker.
Yeah, it looks like about a yard, too.
Well, you know they're going to go for it at this juncture.
Well, you have to, and especially where you are, but we got a flag back here, maybe a holding.
Actually, Bob seems to believe that might have been a roughing the passer call, so we'll let them tell us, but if that is the case, that would give them the first down.
Yeah, I think he's right because Jim Fay is talking with the Bookers.
Yeah, roughing the pass.
So they're going to move the ball all the way down to the Hampton 13-yard line. So the Booker T. Washington Fighting Bookers get a big break there, as it appeared it would be 4th and a yard. And instead, of course, it is 1st down at the Hampton 13. The 5-yard line out to the 15, and the Crabber defense has done it again.
This is who Kickoff will play next week. They'll play Verina, who beat Thomasdale 21-14.
Here's your replay as you see Perry, and it's just picked off on a nice defensive effort, right place at the right time by Darrell Cooper. So that's right. So it's Verina that Kickoff will play. Okay,
that's correct.
Getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
I don't know who's Division 5 and Division 6 up at in the Central Division.
So Cooper gives the ball back to Hampton on the interception. And the Crabbers now with 4:43 remaining. We'll try and run the rest of this time off the clock. And we've got a flag for delay of game. This seems to have been a very slow-paced game. There's been an awful lot of penalties and a lot of delays in the game. It's really seemed to drag out. I don't know if that's just me or the game, but did you feel the same way, Bob?
Oh, you woke me up. No, it has been. It's really, after about halfway through the third quarter, it's just seemed to be dragging.
In any event, Crabbers will have the ball 1st and 15 after the 5-yard mark-off. Curry wants to pass, looks down the near sideline. Jay Brown was the intended receiver. He was covered by Cameron White, and it goes incomplete.
Fullback's right, 18 boot. He's got to get deep.
That explains some of it. There have been a total of 14 penalties for 92 yards in this game. So that has obviously slowed things down. Curry rolling, looking, has Blizzard at the 25, 30, 35, 40, and he's upended at the 44-yard line, and he knows if he'd gotten by that man, he might have gone all the way. But it is a first down, and the Crabbers will have it out at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Bobby, he was looking end zone.
36-yard catch and run by Blizzard from Curry at the 46.
What a move by, there you see the replay, what a move by Curry to make it like he had eyes in the back of his head.
You run out of accolades after a while. Curry drop and Blizzard off his hands.
No, that's not Blizzard, that's Burke.
I'm sorry, Burke, 88, not 89. Little too much mustard on that ball, looked like. Curry has 214 yards passing tonight. Blizzard has 5 of those for 107 yards. On the option, the pitch flagged down as Hollier now.
I think we may have early movement in the backfield that time by the up back.
So that will wipe out the first down and the nice pickup of about 13 by Hollier. And that'll cost the Crabbers 5. So Flag Day continues here at Todd Stadium.
Flag Day, I thought that was June 14th.
It's been moved to November 21st. Clock moving now with 3:49, and the time is running out on Booker T. Washington's season. And the Crabbers looking to three-peat. They'll get a chance next Saturday afternoon to host in the state semifinals. Fumble. looks like Booker T has the ball. They do at the Hampton 40. Mac Jones didn't hold on to the ball. And now they mark it out inside the 41-yard line where Perry and company will have another shot at it.
Watch the replay.
Dominic Perry over center. So the Bookers get another chance to break that goose egg, and a flag down on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, that it was defense. Well, we need to start talking about a player of the game, and I think we'll do something a little different. You know, it's very easy to spotlight the offensive players because they're the ones that's getting the ball, picking up the first downs and catching and throwing all that. But we've got some unsung heroes out there, and we're going out and we're going to do a co-player of the game again tonight. And I got to go with Jarrett Green, number one. He's just had an outstanding game, and a young man that has kind of been unsung has centered this ball just about every down. In fact, every down since he's been a freshman and Ronald Curry's been a freshman, and that's Adam Lively. So player of the game, co-player of the game, Jarrett Green and Adam Lively.
Sounds like a good idea to me. 15-yard penalty for blocking below the waist is marked off against the Bookers.
And that block was thrown against Adam Lively playing that defensive end. So he not only just centers the ball, but he plays that defensive end and does a great job of containment.
At the Bookers' 41-yard line, Perry back to pass, steps up in the pocket, now throws long, and it's incomplete.
And that's not to take anything away from these other young men. Bobby Blizzard's had an outstanding game catching the ball. I don't know how many yards he's got, but I know Bob Killen can tell us.
Well, he got 107 yards on 5 catches, does Blizzard, and a touchdown. But we can't give it to everybody, and certainly a case can be made for a number of players, but I like your choices as well. I think, by the way, Perry now 5 of 16 for just 61 yards and 1 pick. Yeah, that's what I thought. 2 picks. Perry throwing behind the intended receiver, and yes, folks, you're right. Another penalty flag. So on almost every play in the fourth quarter, there has been a flag.
Well, this is holding this time against the defense, and Crabber's going to take it. You got to take it. It's about 4 yards, 3 or 4 yards back in the backfield, so it'll be a spot foul from that point, 10 yards.
So I got to get my calculator out to figure up how many yards they've got to go for the first down.
Well, I tell you, Killen has got a system over there of shorthand I've never seen before, but he understands it, and that's all that makes any difference.
I thought it was toes and fingers. He doesn't have short hands, but 11 penalties for 84 yards against Booker T. They had 100 and some odd yards last week and said they had to cut down on those penalties if they were going to win this game, and they have not. They've been shooting themselves in the foot here. Perry back to pass, and he will not get it away as he is sacked once again by the co-player of the game, Mr. Jarrett Green.
Hey, and he was knocked down, got up, and still made the sack.
Like the way this young man plays. He's got a big future ahead for him.
And he's just a junior, 6'4", 217. You know he's going to be in the weight room. He's going to put on more weight, fans.
Liable to follow his big brother up to UVA and make George Welch a very happy camper. So now it's third down. Now I really got to get this out. It's third down and 51 yards to go.
Oh my goodness.
30 yards rushing on the game for the Bookers as they continue to put negative yardage on this drive. Perry steps up. He's hammered. He gets it away. Salter has it. And Salter is going to be ridden down at the 34-yard line. Still almost 25 to 30 yards shy of a first down. Clock continues to move. That's the big advantage. And there was no penalty on the play. 16 yards.
That's a big advantage.
Hey, I thought that was the greatest part of that play. We might get out of here before midnight.
Oh, I think we'll get out. Well, I don't know. We got to bring in the equipment. Bring in the clowns. Something.
A minute and a half.
Hey, you know, I looked over here at this Norfolk. They got the 11-man crew.
Oh, yeah.
And they got all kinds of chicken.
I saw that chicken. I didn't see us getting any chicken. Fourth down as Perry kicks it out of bounds. They'll mark it at the Hampton 43-yard line, where Hampton will take over with 1:15 remaining. Hampton will win their 38th consecutive ball game and will advance to play next Saturday afternoon. "75 seconds remaining in the season for the Fighting Bookers." Had a great season. You got to take your hat off to them.
Yeah, they really have.
But no one has been a match for Hampton in the last 38 consecutive ball games. Mac Jones, who fumbled earlier, gets a chance to redeem himself and gets the call. Mike Smith puts the youngster back in there and gives him a chance to handle it again. You've got to keep the confidence factors up there, and Mac is just a freshman at 6 feet 212, so who knows what his future holds for him. Down to 40 seconds and counting. This could very likely be the last play of the ball game. And again, a fresh jersey in the backfield. That's Monago, who had carried once prior in the ball game.
That's number 44.
Yep. And that will do it, as neither team is in any rush to stop that clock, as we're down to 12 seconds, and that is going to be it, folks. That is going to be the final play of the ball game. And it sees Hampton win by the final count of 40-0 over a previously once defeated Booker T. Washington team from the Eastern District. Our co-players of the game, Adam Lively and Jarrett Green, for their outstanding efforts. And as we said before, I can't say it often enough, you could have given it to a half a dozen or even a dozen other players.
Yeah, at least a dozen. You're right.
Great effort tonight. 373 yards total offense tonight for the Hampton Crabbers, and right in the less than 100-yard range after those losses for the Bookers of Booker T. Washington. Tonight's broadcast has been underwritten by the following: Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. By Zooms, home of the Sub Club and the Bubba Club deal. By Dr. Bruce Fuller, dermatologist. Visit his new location in the Denby Medical Center.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
By Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling, where they never have an overtime charge. And Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. So for the Channel 5 crew, thanks again, everybody, for all of your efforts. The Hampton Crabbers will play next Saturday afternoon at 2.
1:30 or 2.
1:30 or 2. And check the newspaper for the exact times, or the school. But they will host, Hampton will, and it'll either be here at Todd Stadium or at Darling Stadium. That site to be determined. Final score, Hampton 40, Booker T. Washington nothing. We'll see you soon right here on Channel 5 for Bob Hintz and Bob Killen. This is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.